Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the one, the only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. This is your 2 times a week, twice a week podcast, the Rum Report. It's your boy, your host, Robbie J, along with my wonderful, luxurious co-host, the resident fanalist, ladies and gentlemen, Nick Howard.
What's good, homie? How are you and the Rum family doing today?
Dude, let me just start this off with a cheers to me, cheers to you, all the Rum boys and girls. What it do? Dilly, man. I am doing
dilly, homie.
Hell yeah, I'm doing good, man.
I see you with the Redskins cup too. I got the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, my man's Ron Rivera out there making moves. The future's looking bright. It's not snowing out in Colorado. The sun is out. It's melting it all away. I'm with this.
I'm so surprised. I know we're probably going to cover it, but I'm so surprised that y'all didn't go all in on Greg Olsen.
We are going to cover this. This is absolutely going to be covered here on the Rum Report. I do just want to make sure that I take some time, and I want to start the show off with this. First off, all of the actions and reactions that we're getting throughout the Twitterverse and on the gram. Make sure you guys follow us at Rumboyz, spelled the Z-N-E-T, just like how it is on my name tag right here. No, right here. That was hilarious. Yeah, make sure you guys follow us on social media. A lot of the feedback that we've been getting is freaking amazing. Today we have 2 guests, not one, but two guests. And also, as of this morning, I would like to announce that you can follow her on Instagram at The Inked Ginger. Coming soon, Rumboyz photo shoot. Shout out to The Inked Ginger. She is actually in the process right now of competing for the Inked magazine cover for next month. So being that she's now one of us, she's part of the family, there is the link. Make sure you guys go, you vote. Right now she's in 10th place. Let's go ahead and move her up into 3rd. You're able to vote once a day and just keep spreading that love, because she's going to be supporting us. She's going to be out there rocking that merch, showing that love. So, all for one and one for all, right?
Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah. Hey, yo, Nick.
Hey, yo, Robbie.
Hey, yo, Nick.
Hey, yo, Robbie.
You ready to get in the show, dog? Let's get into the show.
Bro, you know this. Let's go.
Fuck yes. Hashtag Team Big Dick Energy is in the building. Wonder Twin Powers activate! Oh!
Wait, no, it's this side. Yeah.
It's that side, yo. First topic of the afternoon that we got to discuss. Wiz Khalifa high, yeah. Cleveland Browns offensive tackle Greg Robinson was caught with not 1, not 2, but 157 pounds of Mary Jane, which could end up up to 20 years in jail. First off, how big of a deal is this? Second off, that's enough weed to kill over both Willie Nelson and myself.
I don't know, man. I think you and Willie would survive that shit. But right. It is kind of ridiculous. I love that you threw out the I'm in love with Mary Jane, because literally when I was talking with this with some homies the other day, I had them play that song for me. But shit's hilarious, shit's fire. But yeah, man, it's ridiculous. Like it's why, like, earlier this year, like a couple weeks back, Ohio like tried to like legalize like recreational for Browns and Bengals fans because of like football seasonal depression and anxiety from watching their football teams. And I think Greg Robinson thought that shit was gonna pass through and just tried to stock up on some shit. No, but it is ridiculous. That is a crazy amount. Like, how do you fit all that in there? Like, I instantly thought of like, we're the Millers, like,
bro. Except homie was like the first thing that popped into my head was Skrillex featuring The Game, El Chapo. With like, dude, that's the first song that popped in my head, bro. I was like 157 pounds. So let me just put this into context for everyone. I live in Colorado Springs, okay? And we all know that this particular plant, of which so you may light on fire and have certain effects, is legal where I live. It is considered medicine where I live. It's completely normal. You can get pulled over with 1 ounce and under and be okay. Anything over than that, you talking Kevin Gates metric ton, big weight. Like that's he was driving a Peterbilt.
Yeah.
Bro, like how do you have that much? That is not like, once again, I am all for advocating for medical marijuana, you know, but I am not for 157 pounds. Like, no one needs that. That does not give a good case as to why it should be made legal. Now, I could understand. I'm gonna be the only person in the media right now to give him the benefit of the doubt. What if it was a side business operation? What if he has ownership in a dispensary and he was just transporting it there? Now, I'm not going to say that you would just drive through one El Paso, Texas, which is right along the border, that, you would do that. But I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing. I'm just saying there might be a valid excuse.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that too. In this day and age now, it's not out of the norm. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if some shit passed here, I would silently invest some fucking money into shit. Like, yeah. That's a booming business. It's a good investment.
In terms of a legitimate business where people have to come in with medical cards, they have to show ID, so on and so forth. That is 100% completely normal. By the way, for everyone out there that's like, Colorado's a bunch of hippies, actually, we operate just like your regular American town, and on most days, more efficient than most places that I've ever lived. So, with that being said, hey, Greg Robinson, you messed up. You weren't able to block for Baker Mayfield anyways, and he has his own problems that he's dealing with. Her name is a dingus. So take you 20 years. You should never had. There's no reason to have that much weight. There's not in 2020. Not when, to be quite frank with you, the shit's legal.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have that.
Yeah, I think he was trying to corner the market, like I said, if it got passed here.
Cornered the market on something that grows out of the ground.
But already having all that like picked and processed, yeah.
I guess
it is ridiculous, but yeah, for the Browns, like, he really wasn't all that. Like, he had gotten benched at one point. Like, he's had a long fall. Like, wasn't he like a top 5 pick with the Rams?
Top 2. He was a top 2 draft pick.
Yeah, like, he's had a fall from grace. Like, come to Cleveland and see what they got, like what you got left, if you're a fucking bust or not. And we kept him around for like 2-3 years, but
Larry Tunsil sitting back like, I messed up, but not that bad.
Yeah.
Let's get into the next topic. So this news broke yesterday, and it set my social media on fire when all I did was simply just put the information out there. I didn't even put out my opinion yet. Okay. And the NFL with the new CBA agreement, what it's looking like it's going to happen is, I do like your picture, hey Ron. There's going to be a 17 wild card with a 17 game season. Only one bye will be allowed during these playoffs, which will result in a 3-game playoff day on Saturday and 3 games on Sunday in our new playoff format. Nick, what are you thinking about some of these new adjustments and these new changes that have came out?
I don't know if it's good for like attrition, like over the like already long season for a lot of players in the league, but it is good for the fans. It is good for like playoff buildup and excitement. Like we get extra football.
Right. Now, what worries me is, I guess, as a fan. So when I remove myself out of it as a reporter and as an analyst, I like that we're going to get more football. I don't like that now that there's a possibility that I got to hear, yeah, we made it to the playoffs, we them boys. That's first off. Second off, this format hasn't changed. It's goddamn 1990. This 6-team playoff format that we're accustomed to has J Love with the dono hype. Thank you. Appreciate that donation. Crowdfunding keeps the podcast running. Thank you. Even that bit counts.
Yo, pull up.
Pull up. I got me, a little something. Yeah. But no. So I like that we're going to get more football. What worries me is teams that don't really deserve it are going to get in. Like now, if we were to look back, the Chiefs would have not have gotten that bye, and they would have had to play the Steelers.
That would have been a 34-point game.
Yeah, that I'm not digging that. I'm not digging that. I'm not into that. There's going to be teams that are going to make this, and I'm even putting my team in that pot. If this play format was initiated a couple of years ago, we would have then been playing the Packers 3 times.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, yeah. Somewhere around there. I don't like it. And then now that there's that extra game, there's now going to be a team that you possibly do face twice that is not in your division. What is the point about that?
Yeah. And my homie, my brother in the chat, Mike D, he made a good point that I wanted to make too. I forgot about it, but they need to, with like the attrition of the longer season. It already is tough. They need to expand roster number limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. I know like you carry like 53 or 60, and then like some practice squats. They should just make it like 65. Like you should just have some fresh legs. It's like some positions where you could use it.
So to my understanding and the research that I've gathered, dating back to when these changes were kind of announced, I mean, we figured that this would have been something or the other that was on the rise. What I found out is that they are going to be adjusting the rosters, or there is going to be more rosters. What this does mean, and I am going to speak, of course, from the player standpoint, as someone that still plays myself, I'm okay with the longer season in terms of my chicken, because that's more money for me. And if I'm one of those practice squad guys, if I'm one of those low tier guys, a bench role player, backup or something, I'm okay with getting that extra game check.
Yeah, definitely.
Money talks, bullshit walks. I mean, so at the end of the day, and we have to remember too, ladies and gentlemen, I know that many of us, the fans, are upset about this, but the guys that go out there and they sacrifice their bodies day in and day out, they're really the ones that have to say so, and they're the ones that spoke up and voted on this. Now, I don't have the vote totals. It has not fully closed yet, I'll share that information whenever I get my hands on it. But it does look like this change is going to go through. It is what it is. I say us as fans, the same thing that I preached with the XFL about us going into it with an open mind and an open heart. We need to do this exact same thing as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, you have anything else surrounding the changes with the new playoff structure, brother? Or
no, J Love made a good point too. I want to shout him out in the chat. He said it lessens the value of the playoffs because it widens the field, but it does make the to win the Super Bowl like more sweet because there's more people in the mix.
Yeah, I mean, always having more teams in the mix is good. I mean, we always have to remember the daily principle in football is in any given Sunday. They have multiple chances. It's a one and done type of deal in the playoffs. So I mean, there's a chance that teams that probably shouldn't advance are going to advance. We are going to circle back around to this topic at the end of today's interviews. We do have back-to-back special guests today. And it's such a pleasure to have the guests that we have. Nick, you ready? You ready for the first one?
Let's do the dang thing, man.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome. This man has played in the NBA. He has balled out in the Big Three. He is the GM of the Indy Express. Naptown, stand up. Y'all know him as Andre Owens. AO, 20 buckets. Y'all know him as Rambo. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Andre Owens to the Rum Report.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on with y'all, man?
What's going on, brother? Thank you for coming on. It is a great pleasure to have you on. Watch your film. I see all the great things that's happening with the Indy Express right now, 5-1.
Yeah, we definitely 5-1, supposed to be 6-0, but that's here in the road. We can talk about that later.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it a little bit. But like I said, man, thank you for coming on to the show. We're just gonna dive right into it. First question I have, I want to kind of start back, I guess, at the beginning, kind of peaking point, I guess, of your journey, if you will. You played in the NBA for the Utah Jazz and the Indiana Pacers. There was a brief period also with the Warriors, if I understand correctly, if my research is right.
Yeah.
Could you walk us through that journey? I mean, playing for that Jazz squad, also work with Larry Bird.
Playing for the. Am I echoing? Can y'all hear me well?
Yeah, we're able to hear you.
We got you, man.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah, playing for Utah Jazz, my rookie year, playing for Jerry Sloan was a great experience. One thing I loved about that situation, it was the class with Darren Williams, Chris Paul, all them greats. And I was one of the first rookies starting for the Utah Jazz. And one thing about Jerry Sloan was he didn't care who you was. If you worked hard, you was going to play. He didn't have no superstar. He was old school. He didn't care how much money you made. He don't care if you was making $80 million, if you was making $1 million. If you was that best guy that week, you was playing. And that's one thing I salute about Jerry Sloan. And I had a great season with them. And I was really getting hot and getting in my groove. And we played the Spurs like late, maybe February, maybe. Mm-hmm. And I tried to kind of hop step against Tony Parker. He hit me in my my shin and broke my tibia.
Oh, shit.
But the craziest story about that is I was starting at the time. So I didn't tell anybody, and I was playing through the injury. And the next game, I think we played like the Pistons or whatever. Yeah. Then well, but they noticed me limping. I was in pain. Like I was taking 4 Advil before a game and everything. Because I didn't want to tell nobody. I was wearing like a little knee sleeve. So the week after that, the trainer was like, we was doing 3-man weave in practice. And the trainer was like, Andre, what's going on with your leg? I was like, nothing. He said, man, you're limping. I said, maybe I just got shin splint. The next day, it got worse. My leg got swollen. He called me over like, man, let's get it looked at. And I knew my leg was broke, but I didn't want to say nothing. And he got it looked at, realized my leg was broke. They said I was gonna be out 3 months. I was out like 6-7 months. End of my rookie career.
Tough, man.
That was tough. And then, you know, Jerry Sloan loved me so much, he signed me to another year. And then like that summer, they made a trade to the Golden State.
Yep.
And I was like, this is about to be my breakout year. I got healthy all summer, trying to get healthy, but my leg wouldn't stop swelling up. So training camp, you know, comes around. I was practicing a couple of days. I had to sit a couple of days out. We had a nice squad too. Baron Davis, Jason Richardson. We had everybody. We was loaded.
Matt Barnes was on that team.
Yeah, oh. Matt Barnes on that team. There was a couple other players, stack 5. And like the preseason, like I couldn't practice every day. Like and it was swelling up, going down. It was swelling up, going down. And so like right before like, you know, the first game or whatever, they released me. That was my first time ever getting cut from anything. I was heartbroken. I didn't know what was going on with my leg. I was like, man, nobody had the injury that I knew of.
Yeah.
So I went to see a specialist in LA, you know. I went to the Lakers facility or whatever. And that's the time when I ran across, I put this story on my Instagram. I ran across Kobe. Kobe said, man, don't let this get you down. You just got to work that much harder. Use it as a tool of motivation. You know, you got to work 3 times harder to get back to where you want to get back to. This is not something that you should feel down about. This is something that you should use as motivation. Mm-hmm. And he told me that because I was about to take a deal for like 1.4 overseas, and I didn't. Yeah. I went to the D League. I got healthy, but the thing about them going to the D League, I wore number 24 to realize that I want that mama mentality. You know, so every time I put that jersey on, I was thinking about what Kobe told me. Be relentless, go out there, use it as motivation. I used that to get my confidence back, my leg back. And then at that summertime, after the D League, that summertime, I was working out with Ron Artest, Danny Granger, a lot of these guys, pro guys, because I was running the gym every summer where all the pros come to. Mm-hmm. And like I was really putting on a show. And you know, Ron Artest was guarding my homeboy AJ Miles reached out and said, hold on, man. Is Ron Artest, are they really double teaming me in open gym? And so, you know, the buzz got out that I was really in my bag or whatever. Larry Bird came down, watched me. Donnie Wash, Mel Daniels, they came down like, man, we got to get this guy. Yeah. And that summer, that's when I signed with the Pacers.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. That's beautiful. And what I find interesting, you know, like I said, I always research everyone, you know, before bringing them on the show, make sure I have a little bit of a feel. I find it interesting that it was, you know, crazy how almost you and Stack 5's careers were always, you guys were always kind of stuck in the same place or in the same area at the same time.
Yeah, he was with the Pacers. He was with the Pacers before I was.
Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. Can
y'all hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Somebody tried to call my phone up. I got off.
You're good. You're good.
Okay, cool. We good. Okay, gotcha.
Nick, you got a question, man?
Yeah, man. I'm just curious. Like, I ask a lot of our guests because, like, I'm a hooper, but I'm also like a nutritionist. Just curious, man. Like, where on the road did you like run into like a spot where it just like the food was just like on another level?
New Orleans.
Okay, I'm with you.
First
I've been
time I
there
ever
before.
First time I ever had etouffee, jambalaya, like all this stuff. Like I never had that Creole type food, and I like spicy foods. I ate some good foods in Toronto. Toronto got great places to eat at.
Heck yeah.
Where else? Seattle. Like I never had all them different type of fresh fish before.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of good places out there.
Heck yeah. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of the guys that travel like that, like there's like always that one spot where they're like, man, I'm pumped. I'm about to be in this city. I'm gonna eat.
Uh, my spot was probably it's still Houston to me. You know, I went to school there, I went to college there, but they got a soul food called This Is It.
I'm gonna let Harold's know. I'm gonna let Harold's in Chicago know that you said that, man.
Yes, but you know what's funny? Everybody preaches about Harold's Chicken, and I'm gonna tell you this. This is no lie. It's a place in Houston, Texas called Frenchie's.
Mhm.
Frenchie's. This is the best chicken spot in the world. In the world. The lines be wrapped around the corner. Like if you ask anybody that ever been to Houston or ate Frenchie's, Frenchie's is way better than Harold's. Like Frenchie's is classic.
Okay, I was
You got to
stationed.
go to the original one.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I was stationed next time I visit.
You definitely got to check that out. Check that out.
Next question I had, and you kind of brought it up in our previous segment. You mentioned overseas, balling overseas. By the way, I love Europe. What were some of the things that you noticed a difference in between how we ball here in the States versus the European game, the FIBA game?
The thing that I noticed different is more team. It's everything about team. You know, team unity, team dinners. You eat dinner together. You go out together. Is everything just dealing with the team? You know, in NBA is more. You know, you practice playing the games and you leave. You know, overseas, you practice, you eat together, you probably stay in the same, you know, y'all got different apartments or whatever, but y'all in the same apartments, different apartments. You do everything together. It's like college but professional. And they're so close. You know, on the court you can get 35 or 40 points. But in Europe, they want all five guys to have like 15 to 14 points. So therefore, you can't really dissect on one player and try to stop that one player because all five guys are good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that I noticed from the NBA and Europe, and that's why Europe caught up with the NBA so fast because it's all about team. You got to stop all five of us. NBA, you might stop one or two people, you can win the basketball game. Not in Europe, and that's one thing I noticed. I went over there in Bulgaria. I was in Bulgaria one time, one of my seasons. My first game I had like 27, second game I had like 32, 25. They had a team meeting, and we won. They had a team meeting, and it was like, you know, he got to use his teammate. He got to use his team more. I'm like, damn, we winning. But I understand that we're only strong as us as a team, even though it's easy. So that's one thing I did understand, and I use that to my tool of teaching kids today, and running my team Indy Express now. We're only strong as a team. So I take that same concept of when I was in Europe to how I run this team, Indy Express.
I like it. Very nice, Nick.
I had a question, like just thinking, you were involved in that Derek Fisher trade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Derek Fisher, my boy too, man.
Yeah, he's a beast.
You know what's crazy? It's like Derek Fisher, I was with Golden State with Matt Barnes and all that shit. Like 10 years later, all this shit happened.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Beef pops up like that though, but I think at some level there's some love there. So
Yeah,
that's how it's gotta be, man. You gotta fuck with people in this life. But
yeah.
I'm just curious, like I know you're a GM now, but for like any players out there like that get like moved or like traded like that, what's the best approach? Like do you get moved and kind of like, is it best to come up with like a tenacity and like a little slight chip on your shoulder, like a prove it complex? Or is it best to just like be like low key and chill and like try to fit in and just like
I tell people all the time, be yourself, because when you try to be somebody that you're not, that's when you fail.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I tell people all the
big
time,
facts?
stay professional, do your job, do your work, and stay hungry. But don't never try to be somebody that you're not. You will always fail. I
Like
preach that all the time. Don't be somebody that you're not. Don't go to a team, feel like, well, I gotta get 20 shots a game, and you only take 7 or 8 shots a game. Don't be that guy, because your game will show. Don't be that guy that's trying to, dominate the ball, and you don't one of them type of guys that spots up in the corner. Do what you do best. Everybody has a niche. Do your niche. Don't try to be somebody that you're not. And that's one thing I always preach. Stay professional and do your job.
oh yeah, man, I like that. I always say like find your why, find your purpose, find out what
Yeah,
type of person you are, and continue vibing on that and vibing with people along the way.
yeah. Got to be, man. That's one thing that I emphasize with my team. Stay professional, do your job, and stay locked in. With the social media, with
Yeah.
parents, and with the peer pressure from the media, it's kind of taking over sports, and now they more worried about what somebody says about them than actually focus on your game, focusing on their game and getting better. And I tell my guys, listen, I don't care about social media. I don't care about your family. I don't care about your friends. When you walk through these doors and to practice and play these games, you have to be locked in, 100% locked in. If not, it's 100 million people out there is trying to take your job right now. My phone blows up constantly trying to get jobs. I want to play. I want to do this. But I just tell my players, man, stay locked in. I'll have your back to the fullest. I'm gonna do the best I can to prepare you, because I'm not only the GM, I'm the coach as well.
Ooh.
I do it
Yeah.
all. I do it all. I'm hands on.
Yeah, if it's something you can't control, you just gotta do you and keep grinding away.
Got to be. That's life. In life, you deal with a lot of trials and tribulations. But one thing about it, if you overcome that, it's only gonna make you stronger. I
Yep.
tell people all the time, the best things in life is the worst things that ever happened to you.
To you, pain is
You
love.
use the things that happen to you the worst, and you learn from, and that's a lesson learned, and it's going to better you, and it's going to better the people around you, because you went through it to help them out.
Yep. You don't learn anything from easy, man. Like hard shit,
Right.
like testing shit, like
And
it builds up like your mental strength, like you talked earlier, like that Mamba mentality. It gives you like a sense of pride, a sense of accomplishment with shit when it's
It
rough.
definitely does. And the thing about Kobe, the Bean, people thought they worked hard until Kobe came along.
yeah,
And you seen a different level of work, and it pushed to so many people in different sports. He impacted so many people's lives in different sports to even work even harder. When he came out, I think it was when he had that interview, and I think it was like 98 or 99, when he was talking about he work out 3 a.m., he work out at 5 a.m., and then he come back and work out at 11 a.m. He already got 3 or 4 workouts before people worked out. So he knew in his mind that he was already better than you. That made a lot of people wake up like, dang, I'm putting these hours in, I'm working out. I'm not doing nothing. That pushed everybody's level of competition to another heights. You see what I'm saying? And everybody just start raising their game.
Heck yeah.
I like that, man. That's crazy, especially because like that was one of my inspirations. Growing up playing sports, and even starting my business. So that's crazy that you mentioned that. I want to get into the big three. Shout out to Ice Cube for one, an amazing league, and two, great music. You were the 2018 #1 draft pick to the Ball Hogs. How's that experience been? And to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, correct Google if we're wrong. You're with the Aliens now, right?
Yeah, I'm the captain of the Aliens. You know, see, a lot of people only look at me being the #1 pick. The first year in 2017, when all the pros came out, you know, Steve Francis, Larry Hughes, it was so many pros. I was a #2 pick in the draft. The first year, when it first started, I was a #2 pick in the draft.
To the Three's Company, right?
Yeah, Three's Company. Allen Iverson, DeMar Johnson drafted me. You know, had a very successful season. I come back the next year, I was the #1 pick.
Yep.
And then, you know, Ice Cube, Jeff, Justin, Clyde, they rewarded me with my own team as being captain of my own team, the Aliens. You know, this league is a players' league. You know, they reward the people that put in the work. So I was honored of having my own team. Shout out to Cube, you know, and with the Aliens. And so I convinced, you know, one of my hometown friends and hometown hero, Greg Odom, to kind of come out of retirement.
Yep.
You know, I trained him for like 2 months to get him back in shape. And I picked him. You know, I picked Brandon Rush. I had a really good squad. You know, we was new to the league. You know, they was kind of new to the league, and you know, we played pretty well. We was one game away from the playoffs, but it's dope, man. This big three is just like it's like NBA on steroids. You know, 3-on-3 isolation basketball, and one thing about the big three is that we was all taught coming up playing 3-on-3, hoop it up.
Yeah.
Gus Smacker, basketball 101 in elementary school. Let's play 3-on-3, see if you got fundamentals.
Yep.
So it's dope, man. I'm blessed. It's very dope.
Yeah, man. I ran some 5-on-5s and 3-on-3 yesterday, man. I like 3-on-3. Like you said.
Yes.
Like, that's
see,
when
the thing about 3-on-3 people don't understand is that you can't hide.
Yeah.
5-on-5, you can kind of hide somebody that can't play D or this or can't shoot. 3-on-3, you can't hide. You got to be able to guard and you got to be able to score. If you can't do that, you're gonna get exposed. You're gonna get exposed.
Right.
Yeah, you got to have all around game for 3-on-3.
You definitely got to.
Can't hide.
And you got to be in shape. You know what I mean? That 3-on-3 is tough. You got to be in shape because it's nonstop. It's like back to back to back, nonstop. You got to be in shape.
Yep.
Exactly. Now you guys have the new rule, which we already saw a sample of this, I guess, in the All-Star game where you have to hit a target score in the event of going into overtime. So I think that's also going to be interesting. I like that new setup as well. Now another quick question. I saw the video on the Big Three's YouTube channel. Now, is it AO, 20 buckets, or is it Rambo?
I mean, it's whatever you call me. People call me AO. People call me AO 20 buckets. People call me 20 buckets. And, a lot of people, people call me Rambo's too. Call me Rambo too. Rambo is a name that, they gave me is because I'm always war ready. I'm war ready. I will battle 1-on-5, 1-on-10, like Rambo, man. He's a warrior. He's built for it. You could put him in any environment, and he's built for it. So that's where that Rambo name came from. When I was in Chicago, I think we played in Chicago. I think.
Yeah, you had actually. You were like, yeah. I called my mom and I told her that, Mom, I love you, but I'm changing. I know that you gave me my birth name, but I'm changing my name to Rambo. I was dying last night. I was like, no, he did not.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that kind of took off. That kind of took off with that. you know, because I'm a warrior, man. I built my life of competing, outworking people, you know, being in shape, you know, and being very skillful, you know, perfecting my craft. Every year you got to come with something new.
Yep.
You know, you got to come with something new every year. So you got to perfect your craft. You have to focus on your craft. You got to stay to the game. You got to get smarter. There's no cap on how good you can be. You
Yep.
know, and that's why I tell kids all the time. You watch James Harden, Stephen Curry, you watch the Greek LeBron. Every year they come with something new. So
Yep.
don't ever be content. Always raise the bar to newer heights and get better with your game. And
Oh
that's the
yeah,
thing
man.
that's the thing that makes basketball so unique. You can always improve on something. Always. Like
Yep.
one year you might come to the league or you can't you can't throw a left hook shot. The next year you can perfect that all summer long and come back with a left hook shot. Side steps, back steps, you
Mm-hmm.
know, Euro steps. All this stuff is evolving in the league. You know, back in the days in the 40s, the players who dribble with one hand, you know, they come down dribble with one hand, spin move with one hand because they couldn't go left.
Yep.
Now, just look how the game has turned. Now, you know, everybody's doing everything. We got 7-footers playing two guard positions. So that's what it is, man. You
Yeah,
know,
man.
the game is taking off. I
I
love it.
like that you said that, man. Like, I don't know if Robbie's over there smiling because that's shit that like I talk about. Like, I always say, like, make your weaknesses your strength. Like elevate, like all the skill within you, and there's always another mountain.
Always,
And
always.
and if like I always feel like too, like how we talked earlier about like when something's hard or like when you make something like tough on yourself, that you get a lot of growth, like you learn from, you get pride with it.
Exactly.
Even if it's like a little hill, like even if it's an ant hill, make that shit out to be like one of the tallest mountains, and like you'll get somewhere when you're
Always get somewhere. And it's more rewarding when you do because you know you went through the trial and tribulations to overcome that hill or that hurdle. Like, dang, it feels so much better, you know, because I got it out the mud. You know, everything I ever got, I got it from the mud. You know, wasn't nothing given to me. I wasn't one of them spoon-fed kids. You know, my mom grew up with five. I got five. I got four brothers. It's five boys. You know what I mean? So we had to get it from the mud. You know, it wasn't nothing given to
Exactly.
us.
heck yeah,
I'm
man.
with that. I definitely relate with that. I definitely relate with that. You touched on it earlier about some of the things that you've implemented between your previous experiences, not through one, not through two, but three different, very various basketball scenarios. And actually, we can include four, including your NCAA experience, both at Indiana and Houston as well. So I am curious as to, you already talked about the momentum and what you've implemented with the Indy Express. Now I'm curious as to what are some of your day-to-day duties on the GM side? And you mentioned that you're the coach as well. Let's toss that in.
Well, you know, one, I'm not used to. Um, it's like being a coach, but sometimes it's like, man, you like a father. You like a father to some of these kids. They always needing things, needing advice. You know, yeah, I'm older, but I'm like, gosh, I never noticed how much these players needed, guidance, you know, teaching them new things about life, teaching them responsibilities, teaching them level of being professionals,
Mm-hmm.
Every professional isn't a professional. And a lot of people don't realize just because you're a professional athlete doesn't mean you're a professional.
It's
And
fact.
they have to learn that. They got to learn that from their vets. They got to learn that from older people. And that's why I feel like sometime in the league, they're missing, in all leagues, all sports, they're missing one or two veterans on their team to teach the younger youth how to be a professional. And that's one thing as a coach that I'm learning, that I have to reteach the professionalism as well as basketball knowledge of the game.
Heck yeah,
And
man.
that's one thing I see being a coach, a general manager, that you have to do. I feel like in all sports, I feel like the general manager to the coaching staff got to be more hands-on. You can't be distanced from your players, or you'll lose them, or you won't know what's actually going on. And I feel like in all sports, if you have more hands-on general manager and coaches and really take time out to know each player, you'll have a better team.
Yeah.
That's facts. I know for me, prime example of that. I'm more so as an athlete. I'm on the world of football, and every coach that I ever looked up to and I appreciated were the coaches that no matter how old they were, they were out there, showing me hand movements, at the line, not just telling me, no, you need to block inside, you got to keep your elbows in, so on and so forth. Don't just yell at me and tell me. No, tell me, how I can, perfect my shot, where to place my hands up, work with me, not against me. So I second that notion.
They always get that. They always mess up with that. They want to tell someone what to do, but not explain why you need to do this. The better your ability for this team. They just want you to do it, but the players of any sports won't understand, like, why do I need to do this? They don't know. A coach will just tell you to do that, but you got to explain to them, why is this important if you do it this way to help our team?
Yep.
You can't just coach them. You got to understand the ability of teaching them what's the reason and telling them what to do. And if you have more of that, you have more success, because players respect coaches that understand the game and that can value each player ability to operate with your team, because every player is different.
Yep.
Player A is different from player B. You can't yell at player A like you could yell at player B, because they was built different. They came from a different environment. And therefore, that's what I'm talking about. They got to be able to know them. They got to be more hands-on so you can understand your players, because every player is different.
It's facts.
Yeah,
it's
and
facts.
I always say too, like with homies, with like mentors, with just like relationships with anybody in life. Like some are seasonal, some are long term, some are ride or dies for you. But some people are meant to help others. Some people are meant to get help. Like you gotta, like, you can't ever like shortchange somebody. You gotta give somebody their money's worth in that aspect. Like even if they are a seasonal, like you still gotta fuck with them, and you gotta find like their thumb screw, like what makes them tick, like what drives them, what gets them kind of like down, and even like really like don't ever like get them down like that, but like test the water a little bit, like be genuine, be authentic, like don't be afraid to like push the boundaries and really like give yourself over to somebody. So like I vibe with that. I like that.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Got to be, man. Like I'm very authentic, and I preach that. My family and my friends always say I got a gift of helping people be successful in sports. I'm one of them guys that I'm old school. I'm a straight shooter.
Yep.
I'm not going to spoon feed you what you think you need to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear to get better. And that's always been my motto. And that's always, I'm going to live by that. I'm going to die by that. Like, I can't, like, I can walk in a gym and see 5 kids on a goal that's doing things wrong. That's not my team, somebody else's team. I will walk over and take over their practice and teach them the right way and understand. I tell the coach, this is how they need to be doing things. That's doing it wrong. Because nowadays it's a lot of coaches out there that don't know how to coach. They just taking on the position of the coach.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always catching myself doing that. And I don't know if it's good or bad, but I can't help it. I'm always about better than the next man,
Yep.
Yeah, that's how you got to be, man. I say like the strongest, most respected men and women, and just people in life, unselfishly and sacrificially like give to others so that they get stronger. Like I have a lot of respect for the people that lift all ships. Like
Yep.
you are like, and even in a way, like you making it like even like you strengthening up somebody else, like, and if they eventually catch you and they eventually beat you, like you could take victory in that L even. Like, that's like I feel like I grew up playing sports, like I'm a hooper too. I also got into like combat sports and stuff like that, like to fight up or even like train up somebody underneath you and give somebody like that edge or like show them something, and then when they like actually catch you and like for them to be like, like I got you, like, and like me to have a smile on my face and be like, yeah, you got me, but it's still a victory for me. Like, thank you. Yep. Like, it gets in people's heads if they like never experienced something like that. I feel like you vibe with that.
Yeah, definitely do. Definitely do. I love to see people win. You know, people that want to win by themselves, I never get that. I only feel good about winning when I know everybody around me is winning.
Yep.
You know, when I go around people and we all winning, that's what makes me feel good inside. Not just one man winning. You can't enjoy success alone.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
It's only better when it's all of us.
Yeah, I'm a big we versus me type person. Nick, you know this about me. My whole staff, they know this. I'm messaging everyone, in the morning. Hey guys, what's up? Like, let's get graphics done. Let's we got to knock out our scripts. Let's get our interview format, all laid out. I'm always high energy. Anything that's a win for the company, for the Rumboyz, whether it's a new sponsorship, a deal, whatever the case may be, it's a win for all of us because it's helping all of us. Bringing guys on, getting them used to training or getting them used to interviewing athletes. Hey, add that to your resume in case you ever got to freelance somewhere else. You got to go to another show. You can do that. I'm very, very big on the me versus we culture. I do have just about two more questions here. I did. Awesome. Nick, I'm going to let you toss out yours first.
All right, man. I'm just curious. I know this might make some of the guys you had playing experience with in the past like a little like, really, man. But just curious, like I'm a hooper, but I just want to know, like, of all your history, like any leagues you played in, who was somebody who's like game and also like just their like mentality, like them as a person that you just like vibe with, that you just like love to play with, like looking back, like I'm play style and just like that being like you had like homie telepathy with.
I used to love playing with it's a couple. I used to love playing with Carlos Boozer with Utah. Okay. I vibe with him very well. I also love to play with Jermaine O'Neal.
Okay. Go.
Marquise Daniels. Who else I love to play with?
You play with AI.
Yeah, I love to play with. I love playing with AI, but AI was more of he was more of my hype guy. AI used to always tell me, keep killing them. They can't guard you. He was my go-to in my head when I'm playing with him. Move out his way. Let AO cook. So he was more of my hype guy, and he used to get me going.
That's a Virginia dude. I love it.
Yeah. AI used to keep me going, man. AI used to keep me going. He was one of the guys that vouched for me. I need to be back in the league and stuff like that. So I really got so much respect for AI. He rocked with me heavy. AI rocked with me heavy. But in the NBA, I'll say them are my guys that I love to play with in the NBA. The big three, I love to play with AI. Deshaun Stevens was another guy that I love to play with. My new teams, I love to play with Greg Golden, Brandon Rush. I like playing with, Lance Stevenson, never know, he might end up in the big three. You gotta wait and see. I don't know. You just gotta, So these are guys I like to play with, and I always like to play with my friends at home. I call them my line den brothers. We got like a little saying in Indianapolis. It's like 26 of us. We call ourselves the line den boys, and we work out together. We train together. We go out together, and we all successful. one win, we all win. If somebody's down, we got to uplift them. You know, we got a brotherhood that is very strong in Indianapolis, and we all live by that.
That's awesome, man.
I love that. I
I
love
like
that.
it. I had a feeling you weren't gonna just name like a couple names. It was gonna be
No, I couldn't. You know, it's so many people I like to play with. You know,
and
but
my bad. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, my man. I didn't
no,
mean.
that's it. I just a couple people I like to play with. But you know, Jermaine O'Neal and Carlos Boozer, they really took me under my wing when I was in the NBA and showed me how to be a professional. And you know, they rock with me. You know, they seen the talent, they rock with me. You know.
Heck yeah, man. And my bad if I cause some ats or some flack coming your way for some guys that you didn't mention, but I know I kind of put you on the spot. Like I have a feeling you're gonna get a couple teammates from back in the day. Like, man, what about me?
I tell you, you didn't pass me the ball enough.
I love it. I love it. Andre, so the TBL is becoming quite the funnel for talent. I'm seeing every day on Instagram, at least every other day at the very minimum, guys are moving from the TBL over to overseas rosters, or either they're coming from overseas, coming to TBL rosters. Can you just touch on just how high level this league is? I mean, for one, I mean your team is 5-1. Two, that's a lot of movement, and I can foresee as someone that's commentating it and working very closely with it, it's only a matter of time before the NBA starts reaching out.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. You know, it's NBA overseas, Canada, players going, you know, everywhere. I think a guy just got
went
to the Warriors G League team. It's huge. You know, it's huge. It's the talent is very high. You know, I just say it's kind of like the G League, but it's different. It's different. It's a different wave of basketball, and it's growing very fast. You know, the TBL is growing very, very fast, and if you're not hip to it, you need to get hip to it because it's a lot of talent, it's a lot of growth in players, and it's a nice hot league. You know, it's a very hot league.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, man.
I for one, it's a pleasure being a part of it. You know, just for me, I got hit up by the guys over at Sportscaster one day, and they're like, "Hey, this is what we got going on. You've already been an advocate for Sportscaster. You trying to hop on behind this?" And I was like, "You said nothing but a thing. You only wanted me to commentate games. Watch my social media game. Watch you start messaging guys for interviews." And sure enough, I took one little piece, one little step, and I just elevated it. And I love that the access that you guys have granted the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. It's a pleasure. I am slightly just rooting for the Express. I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there. You know, you guys opened up the season crazy against Louisville. Oh my gosh, that was just not even fair. But yeah, so I just wanted to state that, and I'm appreciative for the TBL. Nick, you said you had one more on your side.
Yeah. I was just curious because I've even considered it myself. And I know that there's some young hoopers that hang out and listen to the podcast and follow the channel too. As far as like overseas ball, like it is like I feel like a lot of players think it's kind of like daunting to go overseas and like mix up with like a language barrier and like meet like other walks of life. Like I like the idea of it. Like I would find myself there. Like that's my motto all the time. No matter where I go, I find myself there. But is it daunting like at first? Like is it kind of just like a goofy language barrier and then like a lot of them guys become your boys? And like what advice would you give to those like players and young hoopers that like that's probably the route that they'll end up going to like make sure that they like don't like not ever like see what they're like capable of and like take that opportunity?
I would tell players, if you got a chance to feed your family and get paid to play basketball that you love to do for free, I don't care where it is, go play. Go play, because Europe and overseas is really beautiful. You know, you understand different ways of life. You'll understand as being someone from America. I realize how lazy us Americans are. In Europe, people walk everywhere. Everywhere. They walk everywhere. They're very polite. They're genuine. Maybe because we basketball players, but they treat you like a rock star. Like if you ain't never felt like a rock star, go to Europe and play basketball or soccer.
Or
you would definitely feel like a rock star, And if you're single, you really love it. That's another story.
Cheers to that. Hey, look, Andre, you about to get me stuck on the couch tonight. Look,
that's just being real. Like that's just being real. Like they treat you like a rock star. You're gonna learn different ways of eating, different culture. You're gonna learn a little bit of the language. You're just gonna meet some genuine people. It's some people out there that really love the sport of basketball. Only thing I will say is about Europe, it's not just a sport to them, basketball. It's their lives.
Yes.
If you like win or lose games, they're really like crying and they're hurt. If you win, they treat you like the president. So it's not just you upset, get ready for the next game. You lose over there, it's like their life. It's like their life. So that's the only thing I say about Europe. And they love basketball. The food is great. The culture is great. I played in like several different countries, and all in all, they all kind of similar.
I gotta ask, man. Two places that you balled in. Did you ever go to Croatia? Did you ever go to Italy?
I played in Italy and I played in Croatia. And I can say both of them places is dope.
They're lit. I'm not even gonna say anymore. We can talk offline. I was stationed over in Italy. Or actually around the same time while you were over there balling. So I know some things that the audience will never ever be able to know about the lifestyle over there.
Yeah. My boy Brandon Rush, he been in the NBA for like 10 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
I made him a co-captain in the Big Three, and he had opportunity to go to Europe. And he was like, "Man, you think I should go?" I said, "Where you going?" He said, "I'm going to Italy." I said, "Bro, you need to go. You need to go experience." And I talked to him the other day. I said, "How you like it?" He said, "I love it, man. They treat me like a rock star." I say no more. Say no more.
Yo.
He loves it.
Hey, if you're American, plus. If you're American and black, big plus. If you're American black and play basketball, life is made. Oh man.
Man.
My final question, Andre, and I'm glad I was able to make you laugh throughout this whole interview. We've been like super serious and at work. Final question, though, man. Any advice for the young ballers out there, the young entrepreneurs? Because now you're on the entrepreneur side of things. Be the GM and stuff. Any advice that you want to give out there for the people chase their dreams and ambitions, brother?
Only advice I can tell you is always give your all in your sport and never cheat it. If you give your all in your sport and you never cheat it, you will always be successful. If you don't give your all and you cheat it, you're gonna have regrets in your life. And that's my motto that I stand by. If you give it your all and you never cheat your sport that you're playing in, you will be successful. No matter, I don't care who you are, I don't care what people tell you, you will be successful. But if you don't give your all and you cheat it, you're gonna have regrets.
Heck yeah, man.
Amen to that. I love it.
I vibe with that.
Well, Andre, we greatly appreciate you joining us today, brother.
Anytime, man.
Anytime
you want to hit me up, man, just get at me.
Actually, I am. Feel free to DM me your address where I can send a Rumboyz shirt. Go ahead and wrap up. Let people know who the hottest, most passionate, raw, funny sports podcast is on the internet. And like I said, I appreciate it, bro. This has been a great talk.
Oh, no problem, bro. I'll talk to you boys later, man.
Yeah, man. Andre, it's good to meet you, man. I like the perspective. I like the frame, man. And I shot my shot too with Fooch and my boy Bernard Edwards. But I'll shoot it with you, man. I'm getting back in the ball, man. I'm training hard. Like, it's all about what you put in the game and anything, life, sports, anything. Even your own mentality, like what you put in, like you get out. And I don't know, man. I just want to like shoot my shot and say, like, keep an eye out, man. Like, look out for me. I'm gonna be trying to get into the TBL.
Okay, I got you. I'm gonna look out for you, man. Hey, only thing I say, be crafty, have a niche, and if you can play, I'll pick you up.
Bro, literally, you said the word crafty. I vibe with that, man. Like, I'm a nitty gritty, like defensive minded first. Like, I like to get in people's heads and be like a frustrator.
So you're Dennis Rodman type.
Yeah, and I like playmaking. Like, I like to feed others, man. Like, I can score when needed to, but like I like to facilitate. I like to get a flow of an offense going. I like to be a force multiplier, man. Like, I swear, I always say, like, I'm a combo of like three of my favorite players: Jason Williams, Gary Payton, and Muggsy Bogues.
Gary Payton's my favorite player all time.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So we got something in common, man. If you like that, man, I probably need you.
Hell yeah, man.
All right, man. I'll talk to you guys later, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Good meeting you, man. Take care, homie.
Andre Owens, ladies and gentlemen. What a great first hour here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. We open it up with a little bit of football talk. I want to make sure that I remind everyone, make sure you do pull up, drop a vote for the Rumboyz Fantasy Network model, the Ink Ginger. You can follow her on Instagram as well. Vote for her, get her into the next round. She's doing some work for us to promote our clothing line and promote all of our work and promote our channel and promote what we do to her followers, because, well, it's men that follow her. So, and she loves football, so why not? It's just a match made in fucking heaven, right? So make sure you guys vote, show love. She's one of us. Let's go ahead here and let's get into our second interview. This is our very first time, by the way, that we've ever had on an actual full-length podcast, back-to-back guests. Back in the day, Ty Boogie and I, we did the 40 Rookies. That was 48 hours of back-to-back nonstop grind, shaking hands, kissing babies, interviewing players, all that good stuff. This is awesome. Nick, you ready?
Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
When am I not?
Dude, right? I am so excited. This man is about to unleash a can of whoop ass on his opponent this weekend, February 22nd. Shamrock FC, it is going to be going down. I have been hyping this man up for months. He is sponsored by the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Ladies and gentlemen, Cesar Gutierrez, and also Rumboyz Combat is joining us for this interview to drop some questions as well. What is going on, Cesar? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you guys got us?
I'm good. I think I don't know if he's muted or not, or he's not. He's on him.
Oh, right there.
We got you, Jake.
There we go.
You
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you, man. You're good. What's good, man? How you been, bro?
Think you may gotta disconnect the headphones.
Yeah, this
Plug them in. Plug them
disconnect
back.
these, bro.
Yeah, plug them back out. Plug them back in.
He's using Bluetooth. Yeah, may have to get him to run it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, there we
Okay.
go.
Yeah. much
Yeah,
better,
you hear
man.
us?
Sorry, I was doing the game.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, gotta keep the mind loose before Big Fight Weekend. So Cesar, pleasure having you on the show. Finally, this has been a very, very long awaited. Can you hear me?
I can hear Jake. I can't hear Nick or.
Sorry, people.
Jake, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, dude.
Yeah,
I hear you, Caesar. You can't hear me, man.
I hear you, Caesar.
On your screen, see if it has a mic muted symbol. See if it has our mics muted on your screen.
Hey, Jake, be the middleman, man. Yeah. Whatever Robbie says.
Huh. Yeah, there we go. Testing. Do you hear me? Everyone hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear
We're all
you,
good? Okay, it's on his end, it looks like.
Yeah, I just can't hear them. Let me try my gaming mic. No, I can. Word, right?
No worries.
Yeah, you're good, man.
I mean, yeah, that's what I use all the time because I don't trust the headphone jack as much.
Anybody listening to the chat, let us know. Can you hear me and Robbie?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep, we got you. You hear us?
Testing. Do you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just can't hear them.
Yeah.
Hang on. What? Okay.
Testing again.
You guys hear me?
It's not on mute, bro. I can hear you now.
No, you hear me now? You hear Robbie?
Yeah, bro.
There we go.
Sorry.
I
can't.
There we go.
I fixed it, Robbie, for tech support. All right.
What was it? Hey, here, let me take these mics off, though, bro. Or do you guys care or what?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Whatever.
You.
All right, bro. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
All right, well, we're here. Yeah.
Hey, brother. So
What's
first
good,
off-
brother?
Dude, it's been a long time coming, man. First off, it's a pleasure having you on the show. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, man.
Hell yeah. So big fight this weekend. Shamrock FC 328. It's going to be going down. Where, when, talk to the people. Let's go and just kick off with that first.
Well, it's going to be at the Ameristar Casino in Kansas City, Missouri. My opponent is Colton Hill. He's a big upcoming guy, undefeated right now. I think he was a D1 wrestler. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where he wrestled at or anything. I don't have that much information on him. You know, I know that he's a wrestler. That's it.
Right. Jake, I know that you had some questions to Cesar. So go ahead and kick off with your first one, brother.
Oh yeah. So how'd you go into the camp or just basic training, knowing what you really don't know at this point? Yeah.
Well, actually, man, I had a couple fights set up, man, and they kept backing out. I'm really grateful towards my opponent Colton Hill because he kind of took it on a week notice. But I mean, I was already off my other fight. I was supposed to fight some Johnson something, some other guy from I think he's from Iowa, and well, he ended up backing out. He got hurt or something. I don't know. You never know with this, man.
Right.
And yeah, man, like Colton Hill took it in the. I think it was like maybe a month notice.
Yeah,
or
like
something
2
like
weeks ago. No, it was like less than that, dude.
Was it like maybe like 2 weeks now?
Yeah, he took the fight like 2 weeks ago because you kept trolling.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah. Because I kept calling people out on Facebook, man. And then like I had something set up with Bare Knuckle too. I was gonna fight on Bare Knuckle, and then my opponent wasn't signing the contract, and it was just getting irritating, man. I was getting frustrated because I was I went through a whole camp, and all these camps, it takes money. It takes time away from family and everything, But I mean, I'm feeling great. I'm a little heavier right now. It's gonna be a heavyweight fight. I'm at 240. I think Colton. He fights at 205 most of the time. I think he's gonna come in weight lighter than me, maybe 220, 215, somewhere around there. But yeah, man, I feel great.
Now, I want to go ahead, if you don't mind, and I want to talk about the family aspect really quick. Both Nick and I, we both fought, we both rolled. Jake, he's our fighting analyst and our fighting betting analyst.
Okay.
What is motivating you right now? We are about 72 hours or so out of fight night. I know you the most out here. I know that you're posting about the family life. What's going through your mind, and what is just keeping you at peace right
now? Well, I mean, I'm going through some hard times right now with my family and stuff, man. I'm going through a separation, and I mean, that's I don't know. That's not even in my head right now, to be honest. Too, it's just
right.
I mean, it's just I love the sport, man. I love to do all this and stuff, man. Like, actually, I just started doing this thing where everything I win, all my winnings and stuff, I'm gonna donate it. I'm gonna donate it for every single one of my fights. I'm gonna donate every single penny towards kids. Any kid that needs it. I'm gonna go to schools. I'm gonna, people don't have money for lunch money or whatever. I'm gonna pay for their lunch, and I'm gonna go. Maybe hit the I don't know what it's called. It's in Guyman, Oklahoma. It's the foster kids. They have like foster kids. I don't know the name of the facility, but maybe go and buy some TVs, some PS4s or something for the kids. Keep them out of trouble, keep them inside. Usually people want to, because that's what kept me out of trouble a lot. Video games, man. Because I was always fighting. Every time I went out, I was fighting people, man. I was always on street fights.
Heck yeah, you're Zelda, dude.
Hey, there we go, bro.
Right behind me, man. Right behind you.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, man. I got in a lot of squabbles in my youth too, man. And I was just curious. Well, one, Caesar, it's nice to meet you, homie, man.
Yeah, what's up, Nick?
I know you associate with the Rum fam, man. We're all family. It's good to see you, man. Love, brother. But I grew up boxing and then transitioned into jiu-jitsu. I was just curious. Like, I know a little bit. You're primarily a striker, right?
Actually, I like to put on a show for the people. Dude, I grew up wrestling. Okay. Wrestling's my thing. So I mean, Colton Hill's a perfect opponent for me right now.
Yeah.
You see my. I mean, if you were to see my previous fights, I never use my wrestling. I'm really big into jiu-jitsu. I just actually became a blue belt like last week.
Nice.
Oh yeah, man! Congratulations.
Yeah.
As well, man. Welcome to the blue gang.
Dude, that took me 9 years to get a blue belt, man. But it's because I move around a lot,
Okay.
Boxing, wrestling, Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu, and then no gi. It took me a while to get it, but
yeah, I started out doing gi.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Up there, No.
I started out doing no gi. Switched to a gym that does like no gi. And I love it, man. Like, I put a lot of time. Like, I grinded. You probably like taking that long. It's kind of like crazy. It's like a rat race when you're like moving around and switching gyms. So I can understand that. And they probably made you like go down a belt, or like you were like close to a blue and then you went to a new spot and they set you just like with white.
No. I think you misunderstood me. No, like I've always been with the same gym. It's just like I go to different gyms around,
Okay.
My jiu-jitsu's always been out of the same gym. I'm just not always there. I think that's why it took me so long, because I go through camps, I go move around with different boxing or kickboxing gyms or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what took me so long, I think.
It took me a little bit. Like, I put in about like a year and a half before I got mine. And I was going like 3-4 times a week and like rolling for hours. Like, I fell in love with it. I got an addictive personality. Like, I just wanted to roll. Like, I would work my full time. I would lift during the day, and then I would go and just roll.
Bro, that's what it takes, I guess, man. Because it's like Like I'm telling you, it took me 9 years, bro.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for a while, man. But
Yeah, no, you
man.
have. One of the things that I wanted to ask is, what's the game plan heading in to Saturday night? We know with the information that we know about him thus far, he's a wrestler, but you have a wrestling background, and the film for you states that you can knock people out too.
Is this gonna be tagged on my Facebook? Because I don't know if he's looking at me. No, I don't want to give him.
Man, you having to say? You can't say anything,
I
man.
won't tag you. I'm not gonna tag you.
Man, you can't say much about this fight.
Yeah, I can't say much about the fight.
Yeah, man.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna try to knock him out. That's it, bro.
Yeah, there we go. That's the answer right there.
Hey, look, man, you two and Max Kellerman sit down with these fighters. These are the questions I gotta ask as a reporter, you know?
No, I get it, bro. No, yeah, I'm gonna try to knock him out, bro. That's it, bro. I'm gonna go in there. Hopefully, he meets me in the middle. I'm gonna get a bonus, you know. So hopefully,
There
I
you
get
go, the win bonus, man.
Yeah, I need to get that fight of the night or something, bro. I need to get that knockout of the night. I don't know, or submission of the night. You never know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, heavyweight going to the ground. It's always that's always fun too, dude. You don't see it often in the UFC or any MMA, really. You never really see the heavyweights trying to take to the ground.
Well,
No,
I mean,
easy.
they
my
had
bad,
you know they had Frank Mir back in the day, I guess. You know, he was a big Brock took everybody down.
And just laid on him. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you consider Brock. I don't know what you consider Brock. I mean, I consider him an MMA fighter. I don't know. A bunch of people don't.
Yeah, he is.
Really.
He's a champion, right?
He became a champion.
He was a champion, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
like,
yeah, I mean,
like
today's modern MMA is like 205 and heavyweight to like you're not going to the ground. It's a lot of weight to push around. You might as well strike at that point, unless you really have to go there.
I think on that subject, I think a lot of guys try to match. Like a lot of guys try to match stand up and mix in a lot of striking because that's what their opponent kind of keeps them doing. But if you do no matter what, no matter any walk of life, any weight, at any class, if you have a wrestling and a jiu-jitsu background, it's always in the back of your mind. You always feel comfortable. And I'm sure, Caesar, you agree with me, man. Especially having the wrestling background and translating into jiu-jitsu, I'm sure you feel comfortable when somebody gets you on your back in a vulnerable position.
Oh yeah, man. I don't have no problem with being in my back. I've the fight before this, I underestimated my opponent by a lot, man. I thought it was gonna be a super easy fight for me, and I ended up gassing. But he took me down. I was happy in the ground. You know, that was his thing, taking people down and pounding them. He couldn't keep me down. I kept getting up, and I kept, It was just, I don't know, man. The ground is how I was born in the ground, bro.
Yeah.
Batman Bane thing. I don't know, man. I was molted in the ground. I don't know.
I like it. No, my growing up, my little brother, he was that way. Very comfortable on the ground, roll with anyone and wrestle, all that good stuff. Me. No, let's stand this thing up and let's. I mean, I got reach for a reason. God gave me reach for a reason. You know?
Right, bro.
Hey, man. In the end of it all, too, man. If you're taken down to get right back up, he's wasting that energy. I mean, if you're not doing it with a takedown, there's no reason to do it. So, if you can avoid the takedown from being in a bad position, or you just avoid it altogether, he's wasting his own arm energy.
Yep.
And you're benefiting.
Jake, I know you had some more hot takes or questions that you wanted to ask as well, too, bro.
Yeah, man. What's that fighter that really inspired you to get into it, or what's that fighter you may have accidentally based your style off of after you got into the sport?
Silva, Wanderlei Silva, bro. I was a young kid, man. Watching. I couldn't watch it on TV, Pride. But I would go to the flea market. I used to live in Amarillo, Texas. Amarillo and Cactus, Texas, right? I was in the Texas area. And I would go down to the flea market down in Amarillo and buy those bootleg DVDs, bro.
That's how it had to be, man. You could not get it on anything else.
Right, dude? And, dude, that's all I saw. I saw, Ninja Hua, Shogun, Van, all those shooter box guys, bro. That's what got me into it. And then the Kimbo Slices YouTube thing started coming out, So I was like, oh man,
yeah,
you know,
man.
it's like, yeah.
See, that's when it was
just
real MMA. You had karate guys against wrestlers, and no idea what would happen. And now it's MMA is a sport that is its own thing where you have to do everything. But at that point, it was like you have guys who have no common matchups.
Oh shit! What happened to C's?
They keep
We
they
just
get Wi-Fi timed out.
second. No worries, we will get him back.
That's cool, man. But yeah, off of what you just said, Jake,
Bro.
like that's why I love MMA is because like
Never mind.
it's like the boxing comparison, like the wrestling comparison. Like MMA is so multifaceted. Like you gotta be a student of. Like,
Oh, there we go, guys. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, you're
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll let Caesar speak on that one, but I feel like at that point it was literally the MMA was just let's see how a karate guy can go against a wrestler, and who would win.
Yeah, man.
And now it's a sport where
remember-
everyone does everything, so it's funny to see how much it's progressed.
Do you remember like the old UFCs? Like they would have a guy with one glove on, going against like a wrestler or a jiu-jitsu guy,
Yeah.
or they would have like some kickboxer going against. Or which one was a good one? I think it was Dan Sabran versus was he a Gracie? I think he went against a Gracie.
Yeah,
man. It was
against
like
Royce. That was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
fucking fight, dude.
There was no weights at some point either, too, where it was like Gracie's
throwing
versus
shots, dude.
270-pound dude and would win. No rounds, nothing. It was until somebody gave up, and it was like, well, they stopped that for entertainment purposes, but it was literally who would win in martial arts? No rounds, nothing. Who gives up or who gets tapped out or knocked out?
Yeah.
Bro, they had those Johnny Cage snot shots too, man. they didn't have no rules, man.
No.
I mean, they had punting that was allowed for a while, where you could just kick a dude in the side of the head on the ground. Very early UFC, and it was actually in Pride forever, where you could just kick a dude in the side of the head when he was down, or uppercut a dude on his shin and just put him out.
No, but yeah, man, I started really young watching all that stuff. Maybe I don't know if it was that, but you know, I moved to the U.S. when I was like two or three, man. And I used to get bullied a lot over there in Mexico, man. They used to, like, the older kids would get us in a group. They'd put a bunch of kids in the middle, and they'd be like, fight, you know? And we had to fight. If we didn't fight, we got beat up, you know? So, I don't know.
They saw you now, man.
Yeah, you see us
walking around
man.
240.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
That's probably where it started for you right there, right?
I go back and visit. They're all. Never mind, man. I'm not gonna say nothing. It's gonna make me sound rude as fuck.
Oh man, they wouldn't mess with you now. We know that much, right?
Yeah, I got some on my Facebook too, so I'm good.
So Cesar, I know that you bounced back off of overcoming injury of your own, and you talked about your previous opponent that, in a way, had to avoid the fight due to their own circumstances.
Yeah.
How much of that is pushing you come Saturday nights where you're like, you know what, fuck this, I've been away from the sport too long, I'm ready to go? How much of that is just amping you up? How much is pent up in you?
Dude, fighting is a drug. It's an addiction, dude. Like, you know, if you stay away from it for too long, or I think any sport that you start doing and it's competitive and it's on you, you know, wrestling, I don't know, boxing, football, basketball, I don't know, man. It's a drug. Like the rush, I don't have no words for it, man. I just love it, you know. And like, if I don't do it for a certain amount of time, like I'm going crazy in my head. Like I'm just like, man, like. And then I see other people that are on my weight or on my, you know, on my league and stuff, and they're out there fighting, and you know they're getting their Bellator contracts, and they're getting their, you know, they're on the UFC Fight Pass and all this. And I was like, man, that dude, I was supposed to fight that guy, you know. I could have beat that guy or whatever, you know. And it's just on my head all the time. Especially when I got injured, man, because like I was going with I was going through that Bellator contract, and when all that was happening, you know, like I was going like I had barely split up from my wife, so that was like probably like 2 weeks, you know, we hadn't been together, so my head was already all fucked up. So I started just focusing on the fighting, and this is what helped me out, you know, to get out of the darkness. Just train, and I was like I feel like I was in the best shape ever, dude. I went from 265 from 3 months from a fight to 205. I was at 220 already.
Shit.
And it's
No
it's
water?
fucking-
No water?
No. I was hydrated. I was doing 2 gallons a day, bro.
There you go, man.
It
If
was
if you're not cutting water, that's ridiculous. Good for you.
I was
That's
still
great.
I was you see I was trying to dehydrate the last week for the next 15 pounds or whatever. But then I had my accident. I used to work in the oil fields and the rigs and stuff, and I had a pipe fall down in my hand and it broke my hand, man. It broke my right hand. And it was just some bad times for me right there, man. And I just couldn't. I don't know. I can't see myself living without fighting.
I remember that day. I will say, guys. First off, I want to state this. Aside from the Rumboyz Fantasy Network, having a one out of many patches that are going to be on your fight gear. Being part of your family and as well. I'm close to Cesar, guys, and it devastated me seeing that. And not just, my guy that I sponsor, my fighter, but seeing that in a friend, and as a football player, I know what that's like. I know what it's been like for the last 3 weeks for me, nursing the shoulder injury. The audience sees me all the time, massaging it, like, God damn, like, it hurts. So I completely, that was 3 weeks. That's been 3 weeks. This Sunday, I finally get back to go out there and play. So I understand. Something is going to, when that cage locks, something is going to unlock in you.
Oh, bro.
And I'm going to.
Man, we're all watching. We're reacting to it, man. We're going to be watching that live, man.
Bro.
We're going to be calling it.
I have so much I need to get out, Like,
hey, man, GSP said it best. The moment you're walking to the cage, worst feeling of your life while you're doing this, second you leave, when's my next chance?
yes, sir. There we go.
On Rogan's podcast, he always said, he's like, oh, you didn't love to go to the cage and fight? He's like, no, I hated it. But the second I was done, I was miserable till I got my next call to fight.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, it's a drug, man. It's a drug. It's weird. We have withdrawals and stuff, man. We start punching stuff if we don't.
Dude, you really go through a withdrawal, like you really do.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah,
it's addicting, dude. It's like tattoos and fucking, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. I don't got no tattoos, bro. I'm inkless. Like,
Yeah.
I have a brand, and I didn't finish that either, man. I freaking. I was in college. Everybody was getting Conquistadors. That's the name of the team. It's Dodge City Conquistadors. And they were getting the Conquistadors in the back and stuff. And dude, I just got to see, and I was like, nah, fuck this, dude. You guys are crazy. But I mean, I don't know, man. No tattoos or brands for me.
Hey, no worries. No worries. Each their own. Jake, I know that you had another interesting one as well, brother.
Oh, yeah, dude. I was just wondering, like, with your training and stuff and, like, this last change, like, how would you deal with that? Like, what was your reaction when you found out? Like, who were you fighting before that might have changed your strategy or thought process going into it?
The guy I was fighting before, he was actually a Bellator vet, and he's kind of like me. He likes to get in there. He Johnson, I think his name was Will Johnson.
Oh yeah,
and, yeah. He's
totally different. Yeah, much different than your current heavy wrestling background there.
Yeah. And he was just get in there and let's someone's gonna get knocked out and we're gonna get a bonus for sure, But yeah, man, he got hurt. I think something happened to his shoulder, man. And it happens. Sometimes you're out there, lifting weights or just punching. Just by punching, you can overextend your elbow or your shoulder. Your hip, bro. Your hip can come into play sometimes. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Howard.
I'm just curious, my man. I was just thinking about. I didn't know you were in like jiu-jitsu all like that, but I'm not trying to get you to like give away like any tips for your opponent or any tip your hat at all. But Just curious, man. Like, what are some of like your favorite jiu-jitsu holds? Like, what's one of them that like you like really fucking love to just throw out there? You feel like you have just like innate talent with, like you're just an outlier with.
I man, bro, I'm a leg locker, bro.
You like them heel hooks, okay?
Yeah, I like the heel hooks. I like everything that has to do with the leg. I go towards that a lot, you know.
Yeah,
And
I like that
you
shit
know,
too.
You know, jiu-jitsu events or whatever, you know. But you know, that's no gi. Yeah.
Yep.
With my gi, I like to take side control a lot. I like to get that baseball choke.
Ooh, I like the baseball choke.
Yeah, I'm a fucking wizard with that baseball choke. Gi or no gi, bro. From the bottom or the top.
Yeah, I like that shit too, man.
Yeah, bro.
I'm old school. I like triangles. I like heel hooks. I feel like I have like mad skill with heel hooks. Like I could put something in a nasty one. And I like bow and arrows, and I like Peruvian neck chokes.
Bow and arrows. Do you do like kind of like the Eddie Bravo lock? Are you with like a 10 planet gym, or you said no gi, or what are you?
No, it's no gi. It's somebody that like my instructor like got not Royce, so one of the greats. I forget his name. I think it's with like an A. He's like the younger like nephew. Like literally him and his like one of his trainers like came over here to the States and like trained him up for like on and off for like a couple years. And he's really it's kind of like Gracie mentality.
That's what's up. Okay.
But I love Eddie Bravo, man. Like I would be down to get into a Planet gym.
You see, like I take some of I'm actually with Bueno Jiu-Jitsu. Douglas Bueno, that's who our main guy is. We're affiliated with them, which he's under Guto. But yeah, man. I mean, I kind of. I mean, I'm an MMA fighter. I'm a mixed martial artist. I take everything from everybody, you know. Yep. I don't just stick to one certain thing. But that's our main guy.
You can't anymore. It's one of those things. Everyone needs to do everything.
You got to be multifaceted. Like that's how like you guys talked earlier about how MMA has progressed like over the years. Like a lot of these guys like train like to have no weaknesses, to have like nothing in their game be like caught or like. And that's just the growth of the sport. Like people be like thinking ahead, like, all right, I got to get better at this. Like we were talking too with our last guest. About like making like your weaknesses your strength, and like there's always something you can improve on. Like it's the same thing with MMA. It's the same thing with combat sports. It's same thing with life, man. You gotta kind of go into that. You gotta go in that dark place like that. Put yourself through a gauntlet or like a little crucible and fucking refine parts of your game. All of that.
Yes, sir.
I'll never forget.
Look at Max Holloway, taken down like 4 or 5 times in a fight and still won. Can't take him down now. You can't wrestle, but you can't take him down. He knows how to prevent it. So, he'll strike with you. You won't get him to the ground. He knows how to defend his weakness.
Max uses that. Max Holloway uses that old style Chuck Liddell, you know, sprawl and bang kind of.
Oh, he holds right there, gets up to the fence, and pushes off immediately.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. He sprawls and bangs around.
And Max is just a crazy mother. Like that dude will go to a place that's just dark that not a lot of guys will match.
And you see him with his son, he's the coolest dude in the world. You see him like with his family, he's a funny guy. Then you see him in the octagon, it's totally different.
Yeah, man. I just listened to the podcast he had with Rogan too. Like,
oh yeah,
I think it was yesterday. Yeah.
Dude learned to strike UFC 2008.
Yeah, dude.
Look at that. That's ridiculous to me.
No, I'll never forget my old karate instructor, Robert Strickland. He had studied over in Japan. Came over from Japan and opened up a school back home in Virginia. And I'll never forget. He told me this that MMA fighters are nothing but kids that have ADD, ADHD, and can't focus on one fighting style.
Dude, I think that's true, bro. That's like,
It is, yeah.
bro. When I was a kid, man, they were trying to put me on pills. They were trying to I would act like because I was like always like super hyper, man. I was always like a goofy ass kid, dude. Like, I'd go out there, fight people. Like, I'd be getting in trouble a lot, dude. I was all over the place, loud. I'd walk in the room, and say, "Hey, what's up, guys?" Like, I was just crazy, man. I think the teachers thought there was something wrong with me or something, man. I don't know. They sent me to like a therapist and everything. They're like, Caesar, like, are you getting like, is there something wrong at home or something? I was like, no, man.
Dude, same.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, they literally like prescribed me pills, man. I was just like, man, I'm not gonna take this shit. And then they would have to like sit there and watch me take them. So like I had to like, I would swallow them, but then like I would go to the restroom and like puke them out, cause like I don't even know what it was, dude. Like that shit would it would fuck me up. I was only like 14, dude, and like I was hella high at school, man. Like I was just, it was bad.
It makes you a robot.
Women mature differently. If you're gonna be a 15-year-old dude, you're like a 10-year-old girl maturity. Like,
right, dude. Right.
It's so much different. Like you can't just say, "Oh, you're not acting like a 15-year-old dude." Well, yeah, you got to give like men like a good 8-9 years to mature at that level, at least.
Yeah.
I'm 27, but I still feel like I'm 18, man. I still feel like I'm in college or whatever.
Yo, dude, I'm a big little kid. No shame in admitting it.
Exactly,
but
dude. Yeah.
I got a strong-willed mind and a fucking good heart, so whatever. But like a part of me, yeah, like I'm still a fucking big little kid. I love it. I wouldn't trade it.
Yeah, man. No, dude. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, man. Going back to how what motivated me to start fighting and stuff too, and a lot of the things was a lot of it was I was it was just, basically bullying, bro. I think it's like any other fighter, they usually all got bullied when they were younger and stuff. And I was always a bigger kid, but I never knew how big I was. Like I didn't know I could probably, like those kids that were bullying me, I didn't know I could like probably like like destroy them if I wanted to.
For sure.
But like my mentality was like, oh man, like I'm sorry guys, It was,
man.
It was weird. Like people.
Oh, my bad, C's.
I made a post a while back about when I was like in fourth grade, man, fourth or fifth grade. We had some motivational speakers come in. They were bodybuilders and WWE wrestlers. They were called Team Impact. I don't know if they're still wrestling. I don't know what they're doing now, dude. But they went to go and talk to us. They were they were ripping up bugs. They were folding steel rods into pretzels and they went around every kid, like, in the front line and stuff, and they were asking them, was like, what you want to be, and every kid had the same answer. Every kid was, oh, I want to be a cop, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a firefighter, and well, it got to me, man, and it was those days I was watching those Pride videos,
Yeah.
And I told them, I was like, I want to be a Pride FC fighter. I want to be a professional MMA fighter. And everybody in there, teachers were laughing at me, bro. Like, like, I don't know. I think that motivated me a lot too, just to not give up on my dream, And like, now I'm a professional fighter, So fuck them, fuck all of them.
Hell yeah, man. Bro, I totally feel that, like, about how, like, back in the day, like, not knowing, like, your own true strength, like, not knowing, like, really, like, the depth of your, like, true capability and your true strength, because, like, growing up, like, partially came from humble beginnings and like, some fucked up shit, and, I like looking back, like I acknowledge like there's parts where like I was weak, like I didn't have the mentality. I was gonna say like I was kind of like shit, and I love David Goggins, man. Like I'm all about like developing Goggins, like a mentality,
yes.
Like stealing souls,
yes,
dude,
bro.
Speaks to me, dude. Like I steal souls every day. Like
eat the fucking darkness, bro. Stay hard,
eat the darkness, dude. I eat darkness more than I eat fucking real food, dog. Like, and I turn myself into a crazy fucker. But like, Like looking back on it, like yeah, in like my youth, like I was just trying to be like the funny guy. Like I didn't really know my true strength, and then like kind of just slowly like kept on eating that darkness and developing myself, dude. So like when you said that, I was like, dude, I vibe with that. Like,
Yeah, bro. Fucking David Goggins, bro. That's my guy too, bro.
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Well, I mean, if you look at the top three guys or top big names in the UFC, very much in common. It is Kamaru, Colby, and Izzy, all bullied as kids. Never got into a fight until they were 20 years old. They let it vent up and, I mean, making money, doing their thing. It just works out where it's a way. It's like, why wouldn't I do this then? And they've said, if I could go back in the past and change that, I would. But I motivate myself and think every person I'm fighting is that person that bullied me when I was 17 years old, 15 years old. And they just go back to it. Where it's like, I could have defended myself sooner, but never did.
Yeah.
Like even GSP, he talked about it on Rogan's podcast about him being bullied and everything, man. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe GSP deserved it a little bit. He's seen aliens. He's seen aliens, and no, I'm playing, dude. I'm playing.
That was hey man, great fighter. Interesting person. Let's go with that one.
Yeah, no, he
would love the conversations he has with his fighters and Kevin Lee during training. Just off the cuff of like conspiracy stuff. I'd love to hear it, honestly.
Yeah, man.
It'd be some weird stuff. Like, do you think aliens planned this flood at this time? No, never happened, dude. Never, no way. But he said somewhere it's like, how couldn't this happen? What's your proof? Like, that just makes no sense, dude. Like, even Rogan was like, this is a little weird. Like,
yeah, bro.
You're a little too conspiracy based.
Like during the time when GSP was even telling Rogan the story, Rogan was like giggling in the background, bro, and I was just like, oh man.
Hey, 26-2, avenged every loss, best fighter of all time in my opinion. Good for him. Like,
yes sir.
Whatever he thinks, man, it works.
Yeah, I like GSP too, man.
Oh yeah, man.
Jake, you had another question ahead of fight weekend.
I mean, I think he answered it, man. What was your prediction upcoming for this fight?
Oh, he did. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I always try to go out there and I always try to go out there and put on a show, man. I win, lose, whatever, dude. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna make the people scream. I'm gonna make the people be like, oh shit, And I mean, even if it happens to me, it's gonna happen with style. I'm not gonna let it happen. Just like I'm not gonna go out easy.
No, never do. I think that this is the start of something great for you, brother. I think that you're gonna go out there, you're gonna put the falls on them, that you're gonna hit him with that thunder first, and that second shot's gonna be the lightning. Third shot is gonna be him at the ground. That's my prediction heading into fight weekend.
I wanna say thank you, bro. Thank you, bro, for the sponsorship. Thank you for having my back. Even offline, when we're not talking business or whatever, you're out there, checking up on me on you're sending me a message. Hey, how's everything going? And I really appreciate that, bro.
Oh yeah, and I gotta get you your shirt out there. We actually have the Rumboyz combat line officially out.
Oh man, this is not it, but Pirate Gang.
Yeah, he's got.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, so you're actually gonna get the Rumboyz combat, and you're gonna be the first fighter ever to wear it.
Bro, I should have. That's a badass logo, That's a badass logo. Is that the new logo you guys? Is that the logo you guys are using for that?
That's one of them.
Options. There's many options.
All right, that's what's up. I got the R one, right? The one with the red R.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm using. Yeah.
Yep. My last question: what are you walking out to Saturday night?
I can't spoil that one, man. Can you spoil that one?
Yeah, I got it, bro. It's,
all right.
B.I.G. Kicking the front door. Yeah, man. That shit. I usually use old school songs. Sometimes I use some goofy songs. I'll be using some James Brown sometimes.
There you go.
It gets me going. It gets me going.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I would fuck with people. I'm not gonna lie. Like I would play some soft shit. Like I would get in somebody's head. Like I'd make him think like, what the fuck? Like
Yeah.
I would play mind games, dude. Like I would play some soft ass, like funny shit, like something ridiculous.
Play the Celine Dion Titanic song. What?
Bro. Yes, bro.
Dude.
There's this lightweight. I don't know his name, but there's this lightweight out there in Kansas City, bro. And that's all he comes. He comes out to like Barbie, freaking. Dude, he comes out to some weird ass shit, dude.
Or Stacy's mom. That'd be a great one.
Yeah,
too.
dude. Yeah, but he has his beats on. You know, he has his beats on. So I know
with that one.
He has his beats on and stuff. So I know he's walking out. You know, he's listening to his own thing, but he's trying to trip out his opponent. You know.
Yeah. I would blare it out like
I would look at Habib, man. He walks out to like a prayer, what you would think is like a very melodic thing. It talks about burying people. Like if you translate it, it's literally burying a person in the ring. I'm like, oh, okay, people think it's like a very religious thing. I'm like, nah, dude, that's just gonna hurt somebody. Like the dude's intent is put you in the ground. That is a lyric. And I was like,
I thought it was a song, bro, the whole time. I didn't know it was a prayer.
I mean, there's parts of it that is a song, and it's a very like melodic like background. But like if you listen to it, it's like putting somebody into the ground peacefully. Like, all right, like that's part of what he's saying. We don't know it on our language, but like this dude is not this like super friendly guy all the time. It's like he has a side to him when he goes to the octagon. It is totally different. We just don't know it as Americans, but
he says it. I mean, once the cage closes his business, you know.
Yeah.
And I think he takes everything really, really serious. Anything
I respect him, man. People don't like him. I love him.
I love him too, man. Freaking, even with his own teammates, he gets, he's serious about fighting and his image, because not so long ago, I think him and DC got into an argument because DC he does the play-by-play. And he was talking about how Conor McGregor changed the game and this and that. And Khabib got mad at DC. And there was this video going around where Khabib was butthurt at DC. And he's like, no, you don't talk to me. You're not my brother no more or whatever,
Yeah, I mean, Khabib has his, group. All they have is the same agent. I don't think Khabib's really cool with anybody else in UFC, honestly. I think he's his own man, lives his own life, but... You see him with like Cejudo and stuff. I'm like, they're definitely not cool. They're just so different people.
Right. Well, you see his new facility he made in Russia, man. That thing is huge.
He built it for his fight with Poirier. That is amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, I mean, he's training out of there now. I think he comes down to the U.S. once in a while. I'm not really sure, but I was watching the play-by-play for that Poirier fight.
Yep.
And he was bringing the AKA guys out there, to help him out. But I don't know how. I don't even know. Maybe the elevation's high up there, because they're sea level up there. They're in California, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're like in the Sacramento, between Sacramento and LA area. They're not right in LA, but
let me tell you this: California will be the easiest fucking place that you'll ever train in because it is low elevation. It's just hot. That's it. The only thing is it's hot. If you want to, like, you go to Arizona or Colorado during the summer and get a way better workout than those guys do in Cali. I mean, the only thing that Cali has for you really is working out on the beach.
I think it's easier to cut weight and sea level.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was out there. I was out there in Florida for a bit, man. And that was really like I was running. Usually I run 3 miles straight, and then I walk some and run some, But over there I was running 5 miles, dude. I was like, what the? Dude, I got some gas on me, bro. Like,
Yeah.
It was just different. I think you can do more in lower elevation than up here where we're at.
But hey Caesar, I appreciate you for stopping by the show today, man. Getting us hyped for the fight this weekend. We will be watching the fight. We will be calling the fight as well. So I'm excited.
Hell yeah, bro. Hey man, it's gonna be a war, dude. I fucking promise you guys that, bro. It's gonna be a fucking fight. My last 3 fights, my last 4 fights, I've only fought number 1, number 2, number 3 guy. In Southwest Kansas and Missouri. So I mean, I'm up there right now. You know, this is the first time I don't. I'm not the main event in a while, I guess. You know, since I got hurt or whatever, and I'm ready to get up there. You know, I'm ready to go to get back into Bellator. I'm ready to make my name. You know, stand out from everybody else's, and I don't know, man. I man, dude, I don't know. I don't know where I might be moving. I might be moving to Kansas City. I might be moving down to Glory MMA. That's something I've been thinking about a lot. Glory MMA or down to Wichita, Kansas, out there to JMTK. I don't know. This like my divorce and stuff. It opened up a lot of things. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm more free to do what I love to do. But it sounds bad, you know, because
Hey,
I miss my family.
Take care of yourself, man. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, it sounds bad because
That's how I started my company. That's how I started my company. I had a situation where Big Brother opened up this door for me, and I've been here since. You know, you never know what's gonna happen in life, bro. And that's the beautiful thing. What we do know is what's gonna happen is when that cage door locks, a beast is gonna be unleashed.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah, bro. I appreciate you for stopping by, bro. Thank you so much. It's been a long time coming. I look forward to post-fight interview. Hopefully.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Hey, maybe we can do it backstage. Maybe you can meet some people up there. Maybe I can get some people on here. You know, I see a lot of fighters out there. You know, maybe I can get them in with you guys too. You know.
I would love that. I would love for you to spread the word, dog.
Hell yeah. I meet up with I see them over there all the time because they fight out of over there. I don't know. I think they're in Oklahoma right now because they had a Bellator fight. But I see like Sap Cummings, Tim Elliott. They're all out there, and I bump into them a lot. So maybe I can get them on with Rumboyz.
Hell yeah, bro. Tell them to come on the show. Be like, hey, these are who I'm working with. They're awesome. Check them out. And yeah, bro, it's all love, man.
Hell yeah, man.
All right, brother. Well, I'll let you guys go, man. All
right, Cease. Hey, good meeting you, man. Good luck in your fight, man.
Hey, good luck. Good luck,
hey, thanks, guys. Hey, we need to do this more often, man, because I don't have that much practice, publicly speaking or anything, or having interviews like this. I'm always goofy as fuck, dude. Like, I don't, I freeze.
Personality. You can't change that. Can't change that.
Yeah.
It's you.
I will help you, bro. I got you.
All right, bro. I'm gonna go over there to Colorado, do a camp, a speech camp or something, man. Go hang out with you for a bit, bro.
I'm the coach, bro. I'm the coach, and we'll also roll a little bit as well. I'm down with it, man.
All right, brother. Hell yeah.
All right, bro. Peace, man. Be easy, dog.
Laters, guys. Hey,
right,
thank you for having me.
No worries, man.
Take care, homie.
We love giving your time, man. Love you giving your time.
What a fucking great show. Like,
oh, man.
So amazing. So we do have just a couple more topics to wrap up here. A couple of things did happen. Well, not a couple of things, like maybe a little bit. But some things did happen while we were doing our interviews. Before we get back into the NFL and wrap up today's show with our NFL topics, I do want to make sure that I take the time on the behalf of, not just myself, but I think I speak for the staff as a whole. We thank all of our guests. We thank all of our viewers. We thank everyone that is being promoters of us and advocates of us, and just showing love in what we do. I want to thank Andre Owens. I want to thank Cesar Gutierrez for stopping by. I want to thank Sportscaster. I want to thank the TBL for allowing us access to meet those players. I want to thank the Ink Ginger for promoting us and putting us out there on Instagram. And I want to thank Basil Harfuch, who Nick and I interviewed Tuesday. Make sure you guys go back and watch that episode. Owner of the Tampa Bay Titans and player owner, the CBL's first player owner. And I would also like to thank Bernard Edwards, once again, who Nick and I interviewed last week on Thursday. Go back and check out that episode. Amazing. Me and him, I've been in contact with all of our guests since then. And people love what we're doing here, so I'm grateful to you guys. And I thank you guys for supporting us.
Heck yeah, man. Shout out to Bernard, shout out to Fooch, shout out to AO who we just had on.
Oh yeah.
All the Rum family out there, everybody listening on Spotify, Sportscaster. Love you guys, family.
Oh yeah.
For sure, man. Best of luck to all of them, man. Best of luck.
Y'all ready to help me with the rest of the show?
Oh, for sure.
Let's do it.
Stick on, for sure.
So I was about to get into some news out of Seattle, but I have to now move that down on our script. We'll get into that next. We do have to talk about news out of Washington, D.C. Another $8.5 million has been freed up in cap space. Ladies and gentlemen, it is disappointing to report, but Jordan Reed has finally been released. The reason why I think that this is disappointing because no one, as a football player, no one should ever have their career come to an end due to concussions or things like that. I love this game, but at the end of the day, I do want it to become safer so that my kids can play and enjoy it the same way that I was, and I am still enjoying it. Jordan Reed, we appreciate you for an amazing career. I know fantasy football fans appreciate you for what you've done for them. I know, depending on how you look at that, I know the Redskins appreciate you. So, gentlemen, Reed is gone. Your words, your thoughts.
That's tough, man. You always feel a bit. Oh, my bad, Jake.
It's one of those things. When you look at it, you have the Ravens tight end have his career cut short. Remember him with the 2012 run with Flacco?
What's his name? God damn it.
Exactly, man.
Fuck.
Hip replacement at like 29 years old. Exactly. One good year, one good playoff run, career over. Cannot make a sound of his name. Jordan Reed, man, one of those guys. He was a perfect basketball player to play football, put the weight on, and his body just never got used to the hits, never really developed to the point where you had to put that weight on. He never did. He was always a very athletic guy overall. I wouldn't even say tight end. He could do anything on the field, but hey, he had a long career. He made solid guaranteed money. Good for him. I'm not a Redskins fan. I can't think of any Redskins fan who would call him after retiring.
Yeah, it just sucks. Like having a career like of just injuries and being plagued. And it was Dennis Pitta you're talking about. That dude was a baller.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Reed had like all the athleticism. It's just injury in his body held him back, man. It sucks. Like nothing bad to say about the dude, but
I mean, not official on him retiring yet, but I think we can all safely assume that
who's gonna pick him up, right? At this point,
he might get an invite to camp, but I don't know. I see teams going with like a younger guy, man. Every year the draft has more and more depth and more talent, and everybody's trying to go younger. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, that like bottom tight end like tryout goes to guys like Rico Gathers who are like former basketball players. They might make it.
Yeah.
They don't make it, cut them.
I mean, it sucks because like I said, you just never really want to see a player's injury or a player's career end like this. Everyone knows I'm a very big proponent against DC. Anytime I play in charity fantasy football leagues, I will only play in fantasy football leagues that are kind of donating towards that cause. Like, hey, if we're going to play a game based off the sport that we love, then let's do something for the sport that we love.
Right.
Not just sit back and probably make money off of it. It sucks, but there's just more reason or I mean, I'm not doubting that there's a team that's going to invite him to camp. There's not a chance that he can play a game. I just feel like he's had 5+ concussions and
plus other injuries too. It's not even just that.
Other injuries and these
I mean, that dude's shoulder, that dude's ribs, like, it's just whatever gets hit, he just breaks. And it's so sad to see, but.
And this is dating back to Florida Gator days. It's disappointing, but the news did just break. And when news breaks, well, you have a job to do, even if it's not the greatest side of doing our jobs that we enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say this. I think the Redskins could welcome him back immediately. Like Chris Cooley, after all that went down with his, concussion issues, immediately let him back in. Be like, hey, we might have helped you get this issue. We're going to employ you to cover the team. Just because we feel bad not having you get a chance to get paid for what we did.
Right.
Like, it's one of those things. Like, we're going to get you in a chance to be a media guy. We do not want to just leave you out to dry. We feel bad. Chris Cooley, Reed, again, those guys are probably going to be in the media pretty quick. Just with how it turned out, where it's like, these guys put their body and brains on the line, and you got to do something for them.
The brain, more importantly, facts.
Oh, for sure. Cooley, never diagnosed with many, but how he played, you have to imagine.
Yeah, dude. You saying Cooley, like, I loved that dude. Like, even
Robbie loved him too, man. And who didn't love Chris Cooley?
Like, they had two of my favorites, man. Like, rest in peace, Sean Taylor and fucking Cooley, dude. Those are some bad muzz right there.
It's always fucking tragedy when we're covering this team. But I have something that'll uplift us all.
So wait, the tragedy: Browns fan, and Redskins fan.
Yo. Oh, you good?
Retired Browns fan, Raiders fan, apparently.
Yeah,
by the way,
he's still both. I'll go ahead and go into the next topic. It like somebody just walked up into Nick Howard's house and we gotta go beat some ass really quick.
The feds are on him.
It seems like that Cesar interview fired him up. Let's go ahead here. And the next topic, sticking with the same team, but this one can hopefully uplift our spirits here. The Redskins used the team option tag yesterday on veteran running back. Favorite piece, probably one of the favorite pieces of all of our childhoods, just about Adrian Peterson. He only needs 756 yards to become the 15th all-time leading rusher. Does he do it this year? And it sounds like this is going to be his last year, so he's got to get it done this year. Let's keep in mind he had 957 last year. The year before that, he was just around about 997. We'll start with Calvin.
It's on you.
With me? I think he's going to do it this year. Like, I think he's going to do it. I don't think he's going to do it this year. I know he's talked about it being his last, but he strikes me as, like we've talked in the past, like a guy that just loves the game and won't walk away. I could see him putting up, like, maybe, like, 5. Like, and you guys maybe, like, this is a deep running back draft. Geis is not reliable. I could see you guys going and getting another back, and having, like, a 1-2 punch and AP being, like, the secondary option. I could see him getting, like, around, like, 5. And I could see him being, like, so close that, like, he comes back for next year, maybe, like, gets a little bit of rest, like, gets, like, that veteran, like, treatment through training camp, like, not as grueling, and then they just, like, they play him for, like, the first couple games, like, let him get his yards, and then he just, like, rides off in the sunset maybe, like, halfway through the year, like, week 9 or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like 756. I don't give a damn what age he is. That is nothing for Adrian Peterson. I want to make sure I put this out there for all the business people out there, all the investors out there. The trading card boom is live and well. You want to make sure that you have yourself an AP card right now. That's going to get you a lot of dollars in a couple of years from now when he's Hall of Fame gold jacket ready. When he breaks this record, that's going to add even more value to it. I think that it does happen this year. 756 is nothing. Guys can't stay healthy. We don't know what's happening with Bryce Love, if he's even still going to be on the roster. We missed out on Greg Olson, which makes me think that we're going to go after Randy Moss's son in the draft. A lot of different variables here that I feel that worked out for the run game. We saw what Riverboat Ron was doing in his early weeks, even with Christian McCaffrey, or in his early weeks before getting fired in Carolina with Christian McCaffrey. We know what he's always done with running backs. Hell, even dating back to when he had fucking Cameron Artis Payne back there. They've always been either at the bottom low tier fantasy grabbable or top tier fantasy grabbable. I think that's going to be no mystery here with Adrian Peterson, both in terms of him breaking the record or coming 15th all-time leading rusher, breaking the 756, and also being a guy that you can buy at the late end of your draft. I'm all aboard AP last year this year. Final topic.
Yeah, I don't see it this year, at least, to be honest. He's one of those guys. Huh?
He's not going to hit 756. You're saying that you don't see him hitting 756 fucking yards.
I don't see it this year.
It all depends
I
on
think
who's
they're
the
going to really
starting guy.
test Haskins.
I'm going to let y'all argue about that.
No, I'm with you, Jake. It's all about if he's a starting guy and they don't draft a young guy like in the early rounds, then I think.
Or I mean, maybe even fourth, right? Like one of those things with me where I could see it happening, where they get a guy in the fourth and build him. I don't know if they want to give him the heavy carries.
Yeah, I don't.
Before giving a rookie to see if he can handle a good heavy carry season, right?
For sure. Yeah, dude, it's a deep running back draft. Like you can get some value in the fourth, fifth, sixth. Like you can always get value with like the other running backs. Like running backs are kind of like plug and play, like see what you got. But there's a lot of turnover at that position in the league. But dude, I'm totally with you, man. Like
Robbie was very mad at us for a second there, by the way.
Had 900 fucking yards the last two seasons.
Robbie, we just said though, it all depends if like
will you draft another guy?
I don't
Nick
think...
Couder and I both said it. Are you going to draft another guy the third and fourth round to replace him and see if he can take the carries?
I am going off of what we know at the moment, so I'm leaving it there.
I'm going off what the economics of a team manager would say and say, oh, GM, we're drafting a guy to give carries to this guy and figure it out.
I'm going off attrition and workload, and also, dude, it being like just the start of the off season, dude. Like where your roster's at right now, and after draft and free agency, and after camp, like it's gonna be very different.
Oh yeah, 25% of every roster turns over every year. I feel like in the NFL.
Makes money. You fellas make me want to drink.
Fucking pour one up, bitch.
Hey, I think Robbie. Neither of us said he'd retire and not get it. I think he'll go somewhere and get it. Don't think it's in DC.
I'm leaving it to you guys.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get that in DC. I really don't think this season. I can't see it just because they're gonna draft somebody again. You're gonna have two guys competing for carries.
I think you're both drunk, and I can't wait to laugh at both of you. And you know what? I'm a perfect. No, here's exactly what I'm gonna do.
I think we both hope you're right, honestly.
We both hope you're right.
I'm not even gonna do it. I'm gonna first do it. I'm gonna let you guys know that I'm gonna do it, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call a company meeting. I'm gonna call a fucking staff meeting, right? And I will first bring it up to the staff meeting. I'm like, guys, so just so that everyone knows, Jake and Nick are highly upset at me for what I'm about to say.
We're highly upset with you.
You're talking out of pocket right now.
First, say that Robbie is right, and the greatest, smartest football analyst CEO ever.
Hey,
bro.
Before we record this next episode.
Hey, bro, man. Hey,
there's
two things I would love to say you're right about. Two things. I would love to see Peterson get it. Would love it. Not my gut.
Same.
I would love to see Wilder lose. I don't like him. This is kind of that guy I just don't like as much. I'm picking against both of those with my heart. Like in a way, it's like I do not put money. My gut tells me I could be wrong, and I kind of hope I'm wrong. But my heart's saying, yeah, it could happen, but I would not put it on that.
Robbie, you talking out of pocket? Keep that same energy. I hope he gets it. Keep that same energy, dog. I'm gonna fuck with you if you ain't right.
Yeah, dude. I just don't see either what's happening, and I know Robbie does not love Wilder either. I know he's one of those guys
about the Browns backfield, but then I remember I have Nick Chubb as a number 10 running back.
I don't even go there.
I was like, I can't talk about my own shit because I have him ranked high.
Don't even go there. And you know you got love for Josh Jacobs too. Don't even go there.
Just leave me. I'm gonna read this next topic. We're gonna go Nick Howard, then Jake. While you guys are explaining, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna grab a brewski so that we can close out the show properly. Greg Olson, I'm leaving on a jet plane to Seattle. Oh, you see the jump on it reference right there? He's leaving to Seattle to team up with Danger Russ and Will Disley, who, oh my gosh, I completely fangirled over last fantasy football season before he got injured.
Cleveland Brown turf, man. Cleveland Brown turf.
Greg Olsen to Seattle with Will Disley coming back healthy. Is this what Seattle needed to get over the hump and possibly to a Super Bowl? We're talking two tight end spreads here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Nick Howard, get him.
Partially, like, I don't know. I think he could have fit in somewhere else. Like, they already kind of, like, are pretty good. Like, you're going to get Disley back. I think Hollister showed some flashes. Like, he struggled with, like, some drops. He struggled with certain people locking him down, certain good pass coverage linebackers kind of taking him out of the game. But I don't know. Like, I think he's about done. Now hearing about Reed, I think the Redskins would have been a solid option. Chicago needs so much help at the tight end position, and they're not going to be able to afford like a Hooper or something like that. So
he's very sensitive with Reed, apparently.
He is very sensitive. I know. Heard that. Yeah, you guys got rid of him. Like who are you going to throw out there? Like that's where I'm like looking. You know, like are you going to maybe take up fucking? We talked about last
that
week.
Is not a beer, by the way. He is not pouring beer.
No, he's pouring the liquor. He's fucking pissed. But I can see you guys going and getting Demarius Harris, like, or
getting the rest of the champagne.
I was going to say you're killing champagne. Okay.
Oh, it's Payne. Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%. I can see it is pouring.
He is pissed.
There we go. This is what I have.
No,
go ahead.
No, I said it already. I said I think he could have went somewhere else. I think he's aging. I think it'll be like Jimmy Graham didn't work out there. Like I think they already had something in Disley. I think Hollister showed flashes, even though he got taken out of games a lot too by like good coverage linebackers. So I don't know. I don't think it's like a good move on either side. And I know a lot of Seattle fans are like kind of like, what the fuck? Like why? He should have went to Washington. He should have went to Chicago.
I mean, Chicago was the place. Let's be honest. Go back to Chicago. His impact on the field is so diminished, and I mean, I guess I'll go with my take from here. Chicago was a place. He's a Chicago guy. Do we agree? That's the NFL's legacy. Yeah, that's his legacy. He is in Chicago. That's where I think of him as. Disley, I mean, he'll come back and be ready. Like, I don't know what he could do in Seattle with Disley there. That guy is going to explode next year. Very good player, and I just don't see it. Like, he's a guy on a field who could be a leader. He will not get the on-field reps he would need to make that signing worth it unless those guys in the locker room say, this vet helped us a lot.
Yeah.
And he could do it. He could do it, man. But on the field, I don't think it's the best fit, to be honest. But I think in the locker room, he could more than make up for it.
Yeah, I hear. And they also got another vet, and a guy that I love, like, just because I used to have hair like the homie. But Luke Wilson, dude. Like, don't sleep on Luke Wilson. He's no slouch either. He's a vet.
Don't talk about hair, man. Come on. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm growing my shit out again, man. I hate it right now, but when it gets back to that, I'm gonna be loving it.
So we're good.
Stay fresh, ladies and gentlemen. What I'm thinking with this move, so first, I like the team that Olsen is going to. It's good for Olsen. If we look at this, actually, I was about to say if we look at this from the player standpoint, but what am I not thinking about the players? What am I not?
Always. We should always be that way.
What am I not thinking about someone getting their pockets loaded by some big rich person? Like, I'm fucking with this.
100%.
Go to Seattle. I love the option of a 2 tight end spread, and with a someone even Olsen of 80% Olsen is still great, especially with Russell Wilson throwing on the ball. So I like this move. I wish the Redskins would have gotten him, especially releasing Jordan Reed. But I
said it.
Yeah, you said it. That's why I was like, I heard that.
Yep, you're very salty. It's okay.
Shrink the pain away.
I know, right?
The pain away.
This champagne is not pain champagne for you, Jordan Reed. This champagne is for all of our guests of the last 2 weeks, and just my amazing fucking staff. This has nothing to do with you, Jordan Reed. Just so you know.
But it isn't a Redskins Cup, right? I can see that very clearly.
No, for real though. See, this is why I love these guys. Don't you just love the office environment, that the culture that we have built? No, I love the move for Greg Olsen. A lot of people are wanting him to go to Buffalo, and I was like, we're just gonna act like Dawson Knox ain't there, and Dawson Knox hasn't put himself on the radar. So I hated all of those takes. So for everyone that made a take about Olsen to the Bills, I hate you. Hate's a strong word, but I just highly dislike you.
Hey man, if he wants to sit back, make a run to the playoffs, and be a, I would say, significant backup guy with Disley there, good for him. It's just, as an organization, it's like, I don't know if you need him. That's one of my things where it's like, you probably don't need an older guy like that.
Yeah, if you're Seattle, you didn't need it, but it doesn't hurt, I feel.
Yeah, the locker room guy for sure. And he's probably happy doing it at this point.
Yeah, for the Redskins, everyone expected him to go to DC, especially with the cap space. Let me explain why I am now underneath the understanding as to why we didn't before we close out. The Redskins did not make the offer for Olsen that Seattle did because we can use that money and we can utilize that cap space to push it elsewhere. We can go and we can either keep Quentin Dunbar and and bring in Bradbury from Carolina, which is what Ron Rivera is ideally hoping for his system, or it could be Byron Jones at $60 million opposite of Dunbar. Now we're going to keep Dunbar some way somehow. It sounds like Trent Williams is willing to return. We're hearing conflicting reports from the exact same source about that one. So that trips me out with the Trent Williams thing. You guys know that I've been following that closely. I'm going to keep more information on that. Because I know that also those of you guys that are not Skins fans are focused are wanting that piece for your team. There's just too many different things salary cap wise. Stephon Diggs being a free agent, and we know that Diggs interested in going to DC. We've known that for now a year and some change now. So there's too many things to where we couldn't go for that piece. We could go and get a tight end, and we could go and get Austin Hooper. It sounds like we might go get Austin Hooper. Redskins and Austin Hooper have been synonymous for about 3 days now.
He will be in fantasy on weeks I never thought he could produce. Just like 2 touchdown weeks where it's like, what just happened with him? You knew he's on your team, and you throw it to him for this 1 week. Really great.
I know how Austin Hooper feels, though. That's why I just don't draft him. But, I mean, if he becomes a Redskin, so look at fucking tight end.
Go. All in. We need 15 of those things right there.
Yeah, Hooper's one of those in years past, like I was just like high on, and then he just crashed and burned, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And then this year I'm like, nope, not gonna happen. And then he fucking put out a halfway decent year.
Yeah, he did. This year was his best year, I think. So with that Shout out to Crazy Mofo, by the way, with that Austin Hooper move. That ended up dethroning me in my own fucking league. Don't worry, I still got 2 other Super Bowls, motherfucker.
Bro Chacho.
Huh?
I said, my bro Chacho, he got you.
Yo.
And I got you too, man. We're all of us are one, man, so I got you too.
Yeah, I love you guys. You guys are the fucking shit. Let's go ahead and let's get ready for closing time here on
please not that song ever. Oh,
God. That wasn't just the most 90s shit ever that I just did right then.
Bro, you feeling that pain over there?
Not yet, but but once we get backstage, motherfucker, you know what it is.
Hey, you know what's bad about that song? It was not popular until like 8 years later.
8 years later,
when people realized how cringy it was and like mocked it.
Yeah,
it gained popularity way later. It was not even when it was made.
When it was in like every single fucking 90s to 2000s rom-com that was ever made,
or any like anime edit.
Yeah,
when you knew some cool dude was gonna die, some main character was gonna like get destroyed.
Yeah.
Right? It was one of those things where it's like, please no, I know what's coming here.
It
was like Forever Young by Jay-Z when he remastered it. Like, oh please no, never do it again. Every high school movie ever.
That wasn't that bad. No,
I vibed with that a little bit. Like that was.
See, I was in the range where it was like every single person would make like a little high school video about it and have fun, and it was always Forever Young or that Chris Brown song, whatever it was, and it was no one was like, okay, please no.
See, mine was between my high school song was between that. It was Whatever You Like by T.I. and it ended up, I think, being Stairway to Heaven or something like that.
Oh my gosh. Mine was Journey. Just a small town, yeah.
Let me look this up real quick, actually.
Oh my god.
But no, for real, we are here out of time here on the Rumboyz Fans Network. I know that Apple listeners, Google listeners, Spotify listeners are gonna be like, yo, what the fuck? It's better be a really good episode because it's 2 hours and 30 minutes. But no, for real though, I appreciate once again the hell out of all of our guests. I want to shout out Bernard Edwards for coming through. I want to shout out Isaiah Harfouch for coming through.
Fooch!
Shout out Fooch. I want to shout out Andre Rambo AO 20 Buckets, aka Buckets, for coming through the show. Make sure you guys check him out. He's going to be balling up this year in the Big Three. And as well as make sure you guys check out his Indie Express on the TBL. You already know that. I won't be calling all the TBL action. So make sure you support the Rumboyz on Sportscaster as well. Once again, all TBL games are Sportscaster exclusives. And they are all streaming on Sportscaster. Even if I'm not calling a game, you can just peep in and watch the game. You can always support another commentator too with soft cut. You know, we out here eating, doing what we do anyway. I want to shout out Rumboyz Combat for coming on today.
Yeah, man, no problem.
For no one that noticed or that knew, this is Jake's very first professional.
It is, yeah. First interview with a pro athlete. So
yeah. So congratulations to you, sir. Cheers to you. I'm very proud of you. I can't wait to get more out there for you. You did very well. Good question.
And I will say, Nick and I do not look alike for people who said that in the past.
I think it's an Ohio thing. I think it's the fact that you're both from Ohio and that you're both white. I don't know.
It's a Cleveland thing, man.
Beard, Ohio. That's it.
Yeah. Funny shit though, man.
I do want to thank our resident panelist, Nick Howard. It's always a pleasure when you and I link up, bro. The people love you. You're fucking killing the game, man. The guests love you, man. So I thank you. I want to thank you publicly and personally. I feel like that just holds more credence to it as well, too.
Yeah, man.
I would like everyone to make sure that they vote for the Rumboyz supermodel, the Ink Ginger. Make sure you guys head over to that link right there. I just dropped it in the chat. She's running for the cover for Ink magazine. She's also going to be out there at the Ink Ginger on Instagram and Twitter, representing the Rumboyz, wearing our merch, wearing our gear, supporting us. And actually, she's really fucking knowledgeable in football, too. So you can always hit her up about football as well. So, yeah, other than that, fellas, y'all ready to make it do what it do? How we do?
Hell yeah, man.
Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls want to do. Philly, Philly. Follow me on social media at Rumboyz with a ZNET.
And if you don't, you get the Souza with the chair.
The Souza with the
Hey,
chair.
it's my meme. It's my meme I posted.